All right, it is Tuesday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for the fastest rising pro wrestling live stream podcast on the internet today, according to Grok, and that means according to Elon Musk as well, I guess. It is time for Tooney Talk Wrestling. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I am the Movie Monster, and pleased to welcome back to another evening of solid wrestling discussion as we go through the cartoonish world of professional wrestling. But that is not something I can do by myself. I, of course, need my all-star panel here by my side. Before I bring them on, guys, just remember this is a show that is created for you and funded by you. So send in your super chats to become a part of the show. We don't leave any super chats behind. We will put your super chats on the air. We will read your comments and questions aloud and address them directly. We typically take breaks in between topics for super chats, but we do break for super chats of $50 or more. So if you send in $50 or more, we will stop whatever we're doing to address whatever it is you want us to say. So because we are whores. And so that means we're going to be bringing in my best friend in the world. Let's bring him on right now. You know, I was trying to think of a word that was better than whores, but I was like, what I'm describing is a whore. When I said that we'll stop doing whatever we're doing, talk about whatever you want if you give us $50.
Oh, we're just PBS. We're PBS.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, viewers like you. It's at the end of the See, this is why I should bring you out earlier, because I called us all whores, and we could have called ourselves something wholesome like the public broadcasting system.
Whores or an indie wrestler, it's all the same at this point.
How you doing, Brown Bear?
I'm good. Nice scrubs strap.
Yes. You know, I said it to somebody the other day. I was like, you know, I used to always say Kevin Apollo and I were like Danny Rand and Luke Cage, but in actuality, we were more Turk and JD. The wife and I are actually watching Scrubs currently, so it was in my head. Okay.
Dr. Acula appeared, yes.
We've just watched that one. We literally just watched that one. And then you take away the period and you mush it together and it says Dracula. That is an amazing ending. Thank you for telling me what I already know, Turk. Literally just watched that one. All right. And also joining us this week, our friend Awful Wrestling is here.
Hello, everybody. Peace, everybody. What's happening?
Peace and love. Peace and love. Get your, Awful, how you feeling this week?
Doing good, man. It's cold outside. Jeez.
I mean, even here, it's cold outside. I mean, it's
77 degrees.
No, I mean, it's like, no, it was down there today. It was like in the 40s at some point.
Please.
Jacksonville getting snow this week, right?
I think got it today.
Jesus.
Or at least sleet. So Tony Khan is going to be slipping and sliding all over the floor. Also joining us this week from the world of Maxed Out Media, it's the one and only Dis.
Hi. Excuse me. Hello.
Jesus Christ.
You were so phlegmy that it made me have to clear my throat.
It's cold, man. It's 2 degrees here.
Hey, RFK
Anyway,
Jr.
You have to, can you back us out so you can do our videos? Yeah. We need to get our videos.
Yeah, they're not ready yet. So it was negative. By the way, huge shout out to our friend AEW Neckbeards, the producer of this show, the wise man of this podcast. Who without him there is no show. Now, when you say -35, do you mean that like an actual degrees Fahrenheit, or in like the fake thing that you guys do up there with the Celsius or whatever?
Celsius.
The seltzer degrees that you guys do. Because like the Canadians will be like, oh, it was a scorcher out there today. Hey, it was like 35. And I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, you don't know Celsius. I'm like, yeah, I only deal in like reality.
Listen, when you win a world war, we can play with your silly math.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get too far away from it, Kev, you were talking about indie wrestlers being whores a minute ago. Did you hear about did you hear about the woman in St. Louis? Oh, I know, but Kevin said indie wrestlers were whores. Same thing.
Okay.
Anyway, did you see the lady in St. Louis who got kicked off a show because she was selling herself online and advertising that she would be at the show that night? And Yeah. And there was a whole big thing where like she was saying you can't discriminate against sex workers, but basically the promoter didn't want to look like every woman that he had was a prostitute. So he didn't want to book her. And it was pretty interesting. It led to a big kerfuffle online. Would you? So my question is, would you book a prostitute to come into your company?
I'm probably sure I have and just didn't know it.
Well, true. I guess, yeah.
I can almost guarantee that you have.
Oh, wait.
It was minus 31 Fahrenheit in real degrees. Okay. That's really cold.
That is super cold.
Erica says, since when is prostitute a protected class? Everything's a protected class right now.
Everything's protected now.
Well, up until yesterday, apparently.
Well, we got it. We have some super chats to get you guys. The people are speaking on this show that is made for them and funded by them. So
that was a proud laugh. Sorry.
Regina Sharp checking in, saying, good evening, everyone, and Glum Gold.
It's always good when Regina pops up.
You get at least one Glum Gold there. Kevin Haggerty for $5. What song do you think TK is singing in the thumbnail? I'm going with Sweet Caroline. In all seriousness, who are your favorites for the Rumble? I think he's singing Feelings, nothing more than feelings. As far as my Rumble favorite, I gotta go with Punk. I think it's time for CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble finally. I don't think he's ever done it, so
it's so wide open. It's so wide open. Like I've never gone into a Rumble where there's like 8 people that I think could win. But if I had to guess right now, Drew McIntyre. I think it's
John Cena.
He's not winning.
Sami Zayn.
No.
Oh, let's hope. It'll make him sad, so he might win.
That thing they did with Kevin Owens gaslighting him last night was pretty cool, though.
How did he gaslight him? I missed that.
He came out and he's like, we've always wanted to main event WrestleMania together, and I have a title shot at Royal Rumble. And if I win, I get to go to WrestleMania as champion. And it'd be awesome if me and you got to fight each other at WrestleMania. But that can only happen if I beat Cody. So I'm just saying.
Awful. Who you got for the Rumble?
Damn, I think you got my pick, bro. CM Punk.
CM Punk, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, a few words.
Let's keep going.
We didn't get Kev. Kev, what do you think?
Yeah, who you got?
Really? I don't know. I've been saying Punk from the beginning, but I can see a situation where Rollins wins it, and then Punk just goes on to beat Gunther, and then save Punk's Rumble win for next year.
It's definitely possible Gunther loses
or whenever they go to England.
Yeah, we need more title changes that don't happen at WrestleMania, because I feel like most title changes now happen at WrestleMania. So
it's very old school how he's been doing it, but I do miss the
anything can happen
with moving the belts. Yeah.
The chat brought up a good point. There is a women's Rumble too. We should probably.
Right.
That protected class.
Right.
I guess Becky or Charlotte. If
I'm going
they come
Charlotte.
back,
Charlotte's coming back.
I don't care about that.
They did a video for Charlotte last night, so Charlotte's coming back. She'll be there.
Okay. Andre Adams says Meltzer's in the shower, raw dog in the soap, no rags, singing "I'm a nasty girl," looking at a picture of Tony Khan.
Oh my god,
that was oddly specific. Oddly specific. You killed Kev. CWJ 128 for $5 says, I know this will not happen, but wouldn't it make too much sense for all the AEW talent TK is not going to use and see if WWE would buy them out? He would never. He's not giving up. Even if he does, we've learned that even if he's not using them, he still doesn't let them go. He just continues to pay them for nothing.
There's 9,000 people on the roster. No one's gonna buy all that nonsense out.
No.
Half of them are the drizzling poops.
Right.
Yeah.
If it was about money, he would put Ray Phoenix merchandise on his shop website. So it's clearly not about money.
What's the song that Seymour and Audrey II are singing?
Feed me.
After they chop up the dentist, because that's what Tony's singing.
Before they feed me. Does it have to be human? Feed me. Does it have to be mine? I love that show. Andre Adams for $1.99, power to the 199, says yes, Jacksonville is in snow panic. Yeah, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like for them if they get snow. John Williams for $4.99 says seems like Britt Baker met someone with an ego as big as her, who TK prefers. Being MJF. Is that the
interesting
here? We'll talk about it.
I think he's referring to Mercedes, but yeah.
I don't think Mercedes is the reason why she's out on the outs, is she?
No, I just think that's who he's referring to when he says the ego that he prefers. That sounds like a Mercedes.
Okay. John Williams for $4.99 also says we are Americans. We declare on people who use Celsius. Once they're the 51st state, they're gonna have to, Oh, Kevin Apollo there. There you go.
What happened?
Real quick.
Yeah.
To defend the last comment, even if Mercedes wasn't involved, I think the idea is that if Mercedes wasn't there, Britt would still be his favorite and not be in trouble. But since Mercedes is there, So
right. Joseph J. Alexander for $2 says shout out to Awful for joining my show last week. Man, you just joining every show, huh?
I'm everywhere, man.
You were just you're just renting yourself out.
Yeah, whoring myself out. Yeah, shout out Joseph J. Alexander.
How'd it go? Was it good?
It was awesome. We talked wrestling. We talked Satanism. We also talked. No, we didn't. I'm joking. But it was a good time.
I would believe you. You could have kept going.
No, it's a great show. Marie was on with me as well. She did great.
Great.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It was awesome.
Last Call podcast for $5. Odds that NXT has the Hardys come over to face Axiom and win just to pour salt on the wounds of AEW and boost TNA. Odds that Tony Khan has a meltdown. I would say, well, the odds that Tony Khan has a meltdown is always that's always the case. But yeah, the Hardys. What?
He's melting down now.
Yeah. Chef Eddie for $5 for AEW neckbeard so that he can buy some heat. He's got no heat, brother.
He's plenty heated up on Twitter. That's for sure.
He's got plenty of heat. Yeah.
I was about to say, he's got more heat than any of us. John J. 8999 for $1.99. Power to the 199 says wrestling drama is at an all-time low in dumbness. Yes, it is. Which is saying something for wrestling drama. Forever Runner for $1.99 says, "Is this evil this week?" This is always evil.
I'm never evil.
You are always evil. You are always the taking candy from babies, vile human beings who come to know and hate.
Yes.
Regina Sharp for $5 says it's clear to me that Britt was mean, but Monet is really, really meaner. That's one of my favorite running jokes on the headlines. Is she's really mean. All right, guys.
Involving Mercedes on the headlines, personally.
Yeah, I gotta bring her back on the next one, I think. She just hasn't done anything like newsworthy lately. All right, so where do you guys want to start? Do we want to jump right into a story, or should we pick the Rumble pool first? Explain how the Rumble pool works.
People, you know what? People in the chat are talking about news. Let's do the news now. Let's go into it.
Let's see. I got a whole bunch of news pulled for today. I guess the big
news.
Yeah, we do. We need an intro for like everything. We need a Mercedes Monet. We need the neckbeard promo of the week.
Use the current affair triangle.
Yeah, right.
This gives me an idea.
Let's see. Oh, here's one that's that I think we should do. Let me just pull it up. Where is it? All right. So coming from WrestleZone.com. Let's see. AEW has nixed its plans to host ROH Supercard of Honor 2025 in Las Vegas. So it looks like Tony Khan is finally done glomming off of WrestleMania. Supercard of Honor is one of Ring of Honor biggest events of the year. The event typically occurs the same weekend in the same city as WrestleMania, like the little fish swimming underneath the shark. The main exceptions have been the 2010 and 2011 events, which took place in May. A Las Vegas source and for ROH Supercard of Honor 2025.
What's happening?
Scheduled to take place in Las Vegas during WrestleMania 41 weekend.
Okay, that's Marv,
Additionally,
right?
AEW had a venue worked out. However, those plans are off.
Captain, you're breaking
Are you
up.
not hearing me?
I can't hear
You're
you.
breaking up.
Oh, jeez.
You want us to vamp while you go do stuff?
Vamp.
Okay.
Yeah, read the article, Dis.
Plug in the good mic.
I can't see that. Okay, well, we got the gist of it. The interesting thing about the article, first off, this is the first time hearing about it. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, really.
But they're moving Double or Nothing away from Vegas too. So I'm wondering if Tony just realized he killed the territory. I mean, if it's more about that than it is about, we don't want to glom off WWE anymore, because I don't think they'll ever be above glomming off WWE myself, considering they do it every single time they're on television by using all of their former talent.
Right.
So I don't think that's the issue. I would say it's more about Vegas maybe just wasn't selling or not drawing for Double or Nothing or something, because they took Double or Nothing. There's a lot of stuff going on. We'll get into the Grand Slam stuff. Oh, Barbara's totally gone. He's dead. Died. Hey, you know what? Let's before we get back,
from Jackson.
Before we get back to the story, I guess we should probably tell people that may have missed it. We'll wait till Marv's back. So yeah, what do you think? Awful. Do you think the moving of ROH has more to do with WrestleMania, or do you think he killed the territory?
See, now I've got some questions. First question is, were they trying to sell tickets to this event?
No.
Okay. So they just decided, like, we're not going to have it.
I think it was announced, and then they canceled. I think. I don't have the Marv left. I can't see the story now.
Right.
There he is.
All right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
yeah.
All right. That was weird.
Can you pull the story back up? We have question.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all confused.
Yeah, I am too. For some reason, it's giving me a lot of trouble every time I try to pull up a story now.
Okay. Well, just read it to us, bro.
Yeah, just read it.
No, let me try it one more time. Let me try it one more time, and we'll see if it kicks me offline again. All right. Can we see this? Can we hear me?
We can hear you.
Yep.
So far, so good.
Okay. So a Las Vegas source informed WrestleZone that ROH Supercard of Honor 2025 was originally scheduled to take place in Vegas during WrestleMania 41 weekend. Additionally, AEW had a venue worked out. However, those plans are off and new plans for the event are up in the air. It was relayed that AEW had been working with a venue near Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas that had been picked for the ROH event. Despite this, AEW recently nixed plans to use that facility. The reason for AEW changing course was not communicated. It was stressed, however, that Supercard of Honor could still happen somewhere else and on a different date. However, as of now, the event won't happen in downtown Las Vegas in April. AEW is also apparently considering moving Double or Nothing out of Las Vegas. It's hosted the event at the MGM Grand. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just afraid of Vegas.
That's what I was saying while you were gone. I was saying they killed the territory. That's what I was guessing.
I bet you guys that nobody was going to buy tickets for this, like, especially for ROH. Like, they can't draw with or even worse, guys, what message does it communicate to the wrestling audience as a whole if this sold out?
Right.
Because over AEW?
AEW can't draw anyone, but ROH can, and that's because of the drawing power of WrestleMania.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons. Tony should have never dipped his foot into the WrestleMania weekend bubble anyway.
He swore he never would.
But... Yeah, I know. Well, no. He swore AEW never would. ROH isn't AEW, Marv, moron.
Yeah, no, ROH is AEW.
Idiot.
All right, so my thing. So my thing with this whole thing is the only reason why I want to see WrestleMania go to Saudi Arabia is so that GCW won't be able to follow it.
Watch them.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they follow them to Saudi Arabia?
I'd pray for it every day.
GCW presents Effie's Big Gay Brunch in Saudi Arabia.
Oh. Hey, they clearly don't care about rules based on what they just did on Sunday.
We can talk about it, Kev. Go ahead.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Let fly the dogs of war.
First, so I want to break this up in two parts. I don't understand why I give the New York State Athletic Commission money, because they don't enforce anything. GCW keeps coming to town with these awful mud shows, and whether it's light bulbs, nails and stuff. You can't use a table in New York, but I can take a door and put it on 4 legs and go through it, and that's okay, because a couple of people want to milk small business owners and every dime they have, and I think the commission can be useful, because there are scumbag promoters. I mean, promoters have to keep a bond, and the bond is designed so that scumbag promoters, if someone gets hurt or if they don't pay, you can call the commission, and the commission will pull whatever the damages are out of their bond. Aside from that, it is antiquated, it is useless, and much like everything else in New York State, it is woefully corrupt and does not serve the purpose it's supposed to serve. Now let's go talk about that filthy mud show that keeps coming to town. Look, guys, we're just going to dispel an ugly myth. AEW and GCW did not sell out Hammerstein. AEW distributed the maximum amount of tickets. That means they gave them away to sponsors and corporate partners. They were given away. If you've seen pictures on 2 of the 3 days, you know that everybody didn't use them. GCW was so desperate for people that scumbag Brett was outside in the streets handing people tickets. Let's talk about the intergender match weirdo fetishist creeps. If you want to do this match where you have to have men beat up on women, you're a simp, because you're one of these weirdos who has to pretend that this Xena girl power thing is a thing when you're a 250-pound man fighting a 80-pound girl. You're a creep. I'm going to say it again. You're a creep.
Isn't that grab ass?
Absolutely. 110%. 110%. You're a fetish weirdo, or you're a simp. So right. What happens? We go do this dumb match, and someone finally gets hurt. I also don't understand why wrestlers will do things. Well, how a promoter has these stones. They go ask a wrestler to do something when the promoter himself has never actually done it. If a promoter has never wrestled, they don't have any business asking you to tie your effing shoes. But because this Mark has got some money, and somehow everybody wants to scream at Tessa for allegedly saying something, but we have this idiot in a very awful rap dropping the word like it's bombs over Hiroshima every chance he got. It seems to be immune to criticism. So we have a grown-ass man jumping on a girl, and then we have a girl jumping on a grown-ass man who decides to, instead of just absorbing it because you are a man, decides that I'm going to go swing her into the guardrail, and oh, wait, we finally we gave someone a grievous injury at a filthy mud show. Who knew that was going to happen? You know what? I could have dug up Ray Charles, and he would go, I see it happening. That's how obvious this was. But we had to keep testing fate. And mind you, this happened in front of the commissioner. What did the commissioner do?
Oh, wow.
Stood there like a cuck and then got screamed at by Homicide. Why do I give this awful state money?
What did Homicide do?
He just cursed out the commissioner. He's one on a tirade.
For allowing it to happen?
No, for something else altogether. For something else. Oh, because they tried to stop The commissioner wanted to stop one of the stupid door fests from happening. Allowed it to happen though. Then there's this thing that people do that a lot of promoters like to do, where especially indie promoters like to do. Yeah, AEW does it too, where they book an angle in their head, right? Don't tell anybody else about it. The angle just only plays out in their head, and they bring someone in, and then it falls flat. Falls flatter than an anorexic 13-year-old's chest. So we bring in a kid because, and I know the kid's a nice kid. Has a little bit of a social media following. For whatever, the New York City comedians follow him, give him the rub. So they bring him in, they film with Cardona, and then they humiliate him. And in their pea brains, they go, "Well, he got the rub because he got the social GCW. He got put over back Cardona." No, you bring him out to zero pop. You made him look like a buffoon. You treated him like a buffoon, and then you sent him out the door so that you could pop yourself. No, the business of doing business does not exist anymore. It's why the indies are terrible. It's why the vast majority of the performers are expectant little monsters. And this is why you need actual promoters. It's so unfortunate that the old school promoters have pretty much all died out or retired because these tax return promoters and these I can't get booked anywhere, so I'm going to make my own sandbox and crap all over the place promoters, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's like the indies got the equivalent of full-blown AIDS, and it's just ripping through everything. It is stupid because the best way to do this would have been, okay, Cardona mentioned it, so it was to me it was painful. That was what was going to happen. So I don't know. You got this kid, right? And you can play this up 900 different ways. You can say he's stalking Cardona. Play this up for a couple of weeks. Play this up. They're a heavily internet-based fed or whatever you want to call it. Play this up for weeks. Finally, let the kid cut a promo on his thing. Say he's going to be there, and then you go into the story, and maybe you have more than one person cheering for the guy in the crowd. But to humiliate him and send him out the door because you know he has a social media following, that's Bush League BS. GCW is a open bleeding hemorrhoid on an already chapped and broken down behind of this sport. I can't stand it. The whole damn thing made me sick. I don't understand. I don't understand how they get away with this nonsense. I don't understand what I'm paying money for. Why I get my
stolen things.
I'm pissed, bro. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I ask a question, and I get my back broken for asking a simple question from this damn athletic commission, but they let these filthy monkeys, do whatever they want.
Well, the girl that got hurt, didn't she have to do a GoFundMe for like her medical bills?
Yeah. Exactly. When that piece of crap should have turned around, opened up the pocketbook, and paid her out. The bare ass.
You think they've got the money for that? Like, I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know. They had to paper Hammerstein, so I don't know how good they're actually doing. To give context, because I think we fail to do that a lot for people who might be listening for the first time. Kev is a promoter in New York, correct?
Yes, unfortunately.
So this isn't just another IWC, knucklehead going off on a tangent about something he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you want to hear another IWC knucklehead go off on a tangent, we'll do that right now. Back when you were talking about intergender wrestling and stuff, and it's funny, I don't know how the intergender wrestling became such a staple of indies. I know that for some it's a necessity. Right, like you have the really small indie promotion who is also a school who has one female, has one female wrestler, and they need to get her reps, and they can't afford to bring in a new woman every week, so they put a man out with a mask and a push-up bra and pretend it's a woman and let him job to her just so she can get some work in front of a crowd. So I understood that, right? But to get to the level that it is now, where it's almost where if you are an indie company, you kind of have to, it's expected to have an intergender match at this point. And it doesn't make any sense to me why so many people are interested in this.
Let me give you some context too. Especially in New York, intergender matches are illegal. They are not allowed. So the fact that there's even a remote possibility is mind blowing. And yes, we'll be honest about it. In wrestling, can you do an intergender match? Obviously, if you had to, right? It's also why I always scream the age discussion of wrestlers is irrelevant. Modern training techniques and nutrition have extended the golden years of a wrestler by a minimum of 15 years.
It's irrelevant going up, not down.
Yeah, it's irrelevant going up. Yeah. So yes, can women wrestle men? Yes, obviously, because it's predetermined. You got to work together. But the kind of matches that these guys do, and again, so if you're so again, unless you're a trash bag pants wearing frail emo kid, where yes, you guys are the same weight, but even then, the wrestling only works when everybody decides to make the conscious decision to lend you credibility. So if I go out and I get beat up by a 90-pound girl this week, and then you come back to see me next week and I win, it's not believable. And it's not believable that I beat the guy that I beat. And there's a ripple effect. So now you see these stupid matches, and it's my favorite stupid spot. Guy and gal fight. Somehow they wind up outside. Guy runs inside and does the plancha. And then he knocks her down. And then he runs back in the ring, does the plancha again. And then he knocks her down. And then he runs outside, does the plancha one more time. And everybody bumps and falls down. In reality, this dude is like 210, 220, 230, 240. His full body momentum crashing into, let's say she's 120. We all understand that in real life, that if a 220-pound man with all of his force hurled his body at a 120-pound woman, she is going to the hospital. She may be dead. If you watched an episode of Law and Order, this has happened at least 10 times in 400 years that the show's been on. So the fact that these indie idiots keep going out here and doing this crap and not understanding why no one goes to indie shows anymore is baffling. Mud show, moron monkey nonsense.
Sounds like
this has been a TED Talk from Kevin Apollo.
By the way, we just had 271 people in the chat.
Awesome.
So I think that's a career best for us for at one point in time.
There was after the Punk footage, we had like 900 that one time. Remember, just out of nowhere when AEW.
I have a question, Kev.
Yeah.
Does GCW because I'm a simple mind. I'm walking down the street in New York and I see a poster from GCW that says intergender match. It's almost voyeuristic that you want to check it out. Are they doing things like that? Is that how it goes? Like the intergender match is the draw?
I personally, I don't understand it. It's not just GCW. It is, unfortunately, it has been a problem throughout the Northeast. There are some talents, some guys that I do consider talents who have just essentially revitalized something that vaguely resembles a career into doing this nonsense. Right. But the reality of it is the people that it appeals to, it's the creepy fetishist and simps of the
Gotcha.
fan base that like this. I actually remember before this blew up, someone did an intergender. The girl, what was her name? Something America. She's a sweet girl. Her shoot job was that she was a PA on what was that Kevin Spacey show on Netflix?
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Yeah, she was a PA on House of Cards. So this building was only about maybe 20 minutes from my house. It had wrestling for years. It's in the middle of a small town in Jersey. Right behind the building is a high school. So you're juiced in. All you need to do 2 or 3 shows. You get the community. You'll never have less than 250 in your crowd. So, what does this person do? Person who never should have gotten the building. He decides that in this particular match, it's going to be an intergender triple threat, and he's going to get into a forearm fight with the girl.
Great.
So now he chops her up, So now we're 2 seconds in the match, and from like her neck down to the very top of her of her spectacles, it's beet red. It's like super gross, like the burst blood vessels. And I'm watching the crowd, and there was a father in front with his daughter, and I'm seeing the father get visibly upset. I'm like, oh, you lost them. The crowd, and then I think this spot finally ends with she goes through a table. The crowd was dead silent. People did not understand how to feel about what they were seeing. And then the building has not run wrestling since. That was over 12 years ago. 12 years. And it's been shut down for people that had done wrestling for decades. And this is what happens when you do this nonsense in front of real crowds. Actual fans, the people you want in your buildings, they don't have a stomach for this. It's just violence for the sake of violence. And everybody gets comfortable because it's domestic violence. So these marks want to keep doing, I'm trying really hard not to curse. These marks run around, they do this crap, and it is only a matter of time before someone gets, because they're not safe when you watch these guys, is because again, if I'm a wrestler and I'm allegedly supposed to work out, half of them don't. But if you're a wrestler who happens to work out and you're doing this kind of stuff, you should really, reality, be able to throw around 97% of your female opponents. It should be like your wrestling the Invincible Man. So they'll snatch these girls up in suplexes or Germans or dragon suplexes with reckless abandon because they're feeling themselves and they're marking out and they're not being careful with their dance partner. I watched the GCW spot 400 times. And I was like, and sure, shit happens. I'm sorry, stuff happens. But to me, her injury should have never happened. There was a way to take the move where, frankly, if you had half a brain, you absorb the impact because you're supposed to protect her more than you protect yourself because you outweigh her by over 100+ pounds. And it was, I'm going to mark out and toss her into the guardrail. Oh, great, it's broken. And I don't know why you do these spots. So like, you look at WWE TV, there is a minimum of what, 15, 20 feet from the ring to the guardrail, and it's been that way really since the late 90s when the Hardys and Dudleys started bumping outside of it. It went from being like 12 feet to 20 feet. So like, you have space to play around. At an indie show in a tight venue, you are lucky if you have 6 feet of space between the ring and the guardrail. So when you do this stuff, and this will piss me, why I think, if anything, wrestling licenses should come back, because it would force people to think, if you know anything about incidental contact laws in whatever state you're wrestling in, you should, because you should know as a performer, you're putting the people in the front row at risk. So I'm gonna go do a stupid plancha because I gotta die because I don't know how to call a match, and I go crash into another person. That person takes it, and everybody gets thrown into the guardrail. The guardrails they're not bolted to the ground, so now the guardrails are smashing into the people behind you, and you're running the risk of blowing out someone's knee, of cracking some kid's arm. And I see this goofy crap all the time. And again, it is a countdown to destruction. I feel terrible for this girl. This should never happen. GCW should be effing embarrassed, but they never are. They're never shamed. They're never embarrassed. They never have consequences, and they do this crap again and again and again. And then the nonsense, the turd rolls downhill and collects bigger turds, and everything stinks.
One time I had heard, I don't remember, it wasn't GCW, it was another indie fed. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the millions in Jersey. They were working in an indoor soccer field that's got kind of like the turf soccer field. And of course, they go in there and they start doing death matches and light tubes and breaking light tubes over the turf. And the little tiny shards of glass became embedded in the turf in the field. And so the next day, the kids came in for like the Pee Wee soccer team, practices or games, and they all got sliced up.
Dude, they all became Moxley.
Needless to say, that building was killed. It's dumb. And it's New Jersey, which is even worse because the Athletic Commission has no presence in Jersey. So anyone can run a show. Anyone that wakes up that has enough money that's like, I want to run a wrestling show, can run a wrestling show.
It's a legitimate Wild West. You could drop a ring in a parking lot and be shocked if someone asks you if you have insurance.
Yeah. But we have to move on. We've got to talk about wrestling people actually watch. And know what it is. Kevin, that was an epic rant. I think I speak for all of us when I have to give you a rousing round of applause for that. If it would play. Come on. Thank you.
Yay.
All right.
Huzzah.
We got some super chats to get to before we move on. You and Cubia for $2 said Marv's mic is dying. It was not my mic. It was my computer that was overloaded with too many WrestleZone. That site has always been a drain on browsers. Forever, but it's the only wrestling news site that I trust. Forever Runner for $1.99. Dis made Marv disappear. Dis wishes.
I did. Now I run the show. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, if I was gone, yeah. Andre Adams for $1.99 says Dis sabotage Marco Stunt's push.
No, that would make me a face. That would make
you a face, yeah. If anything, you advocated for it behind the scenes. John Williams for $4.99 says Triple H is going to book himself in a match against female China, which is what we call Jordynne Grace. It'll be a spanking match. It'll be the one time he does the job. Oh no! I'll put you over. Don't worry. Since CWJ. Come on, Joni. My name's not Joni, it's Jordan. Shut up, Joni. CWJ 128 for $2. Can an old school territory exist today? That's a good question. I think that's what NWA tried to be. And it was just, if I'm Billy Corgan, I've taken out a contract on the Sinister Minister at this point because my gosh.
That I gotta say though, no, dude, NWA that's the little engine that could, man. They're suddenly back coming up again. Like they're getting more popularity, they're getting better numbers, they're getting better houses. Like every time you think Billy Corgan's done, something happens, and he after putting that show on X, they've developed another following. I don't get it. I've watched it a couple times. It's fine, but yeah, people they're digging themselves out of that grave again.
Well, good for them. Good for Billy Corgan. Good for NWA. And yes, I think an old school territory can run today, can exist today. I think there would be a fan base for it. Kev, do you agree with me?
Yeah. Listen, the problem is the modern wrestler. The promoters get the venue and provide the stage for you to perform. It is wrestlers who sell the tickets and drive the story. And the modern indie wrestler is very lazy. You can barely get them to flyer their own town. But yes, a nice local territory. Like, I don't know, did you guys watch Heels? Something like Heels can
I started the first episode.
It's good.
Something like Heels can exist, but it's just these kids are too expectant, too lazy. I don't know why or what it is, but they got to do the work and they don't want to do it.
We got to have a territory company here. They run Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri. They hit up it's not big cities, right? So they don't go Kansas City, they don't go St. Louis, they don't go Little Rock, but the smaller towns in the way, they do 3 states. They have titles for every state. They have the same roster going across, and they do a good little family-friendly show with a nice selection of talent. I think that Triple H's end game might be to resurrect the territory system. He's been talking about it since early 2000s. Right. He's been talking about wanting to do a territory system, and the ID program, highlighting that stuff online now, and NXT. I think that's his end game.
Do you believe? Go ahead, Mark.
I used to always say that I thought that the way he was going to run developmental was performance centers in different territories throughout the country, each run by someone different. So it would have been like you go to Florida and you work with Dusty, and then you fly out to, the Midwest and you work with Kevin Nash, and then you go over here and you work with Sean, and you travel around to the different territories and learn from the different guys. But it probably would be a bajillion-dollar enterprise. But I think I mean, I think that's almost what they did with the performance centers in the different countries, right? Like they were supposed to have like an NXT Japan, they had NXT UK. So
yeah, do you think the WWE would help some of these territories, like for example ACW, Kevin's outfit? Would they help you in like build you a set, you know, or get you negotiating with a local television station for a show or anything? Like how would Triple H, how would WWE develop this territory system properly?
I think you'd have to be more like a Booker T. Like you'd have to be someone who was there most likely, or connect to someone there, because they do great with Booker. I'm curious to see what they do with Mark Henry wants to do his Caribbean show, you know, out in the islands. But I mean,
you know, Cody's going to do the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, listen, anything is possible. I mean, listen, the only thing that sucks is that you know, local TV isn't what it used to be. You know, like you know, a lot of this was driven by the fact that you could go to your local TV station and get coverage, and that really isn't a thing. A lot of cable companies got rid of public access, and if you if they did it, good luck interrupting 24 hours of screaming Haitians. Yes, but it's anything's possible. Especially, listen, I look at it. You know, we talk about all the time new media. You know, although YouTube is not indie wrestling friendly, if people would leverage things like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok more effectively, you could get a really nice show out there. And you're not slave to it. You're not slave to geographical boundaries.
Years ago, early 2010s, I actually was pitching an idea to a couple people, and I ended up talking to Gabe Sapolsky about it at one point. And he said, I'm doing something similar. And they got that World Wrestling Live thing that they did for a little while. But the idea I had was to go around to a bunch of indie companies, get them all on some kind of standard social network that was just dedicated to wrestling, and it would help wrestlers get bookings easier. It would help people find wrestlers easier. This was before all the wrestlers were on different social media sites and stuff. And Gabe's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. And then he didn't really go through all the way with it, but you know,
so your idea is old.
It's old. Yeah. It would never work now. I mean, it would work in the sense that you could use regular social media. My idea was
so you're saying it was derivative of what Gabe was already doing. I get what you're saying.
I think what I told him was his end game for what he was doing, and he never got there because he made that deal with WWE and he started working with them with Evolve and stuff
if
like that.
only he had listened to this.
CWJ 128, you did it. You got a lot of your money's worth out of this $2 super chat. Congratulations on that. John Williams says for 199 says New York is run by bears. Confirmed. That is possible. Ray for $5 says, how's it hanging, Tooneytown fam? Huh? How's it hanging with you, Ray? Loving your
down and to the left.
I always like to see a duck.
Oh my!
I knew somebody was gonna make that joke. I wasn't gonna do it because I'm not crass.
You're no hack.
Cody W for Cody W for 199. Kept with facts. I didn't want to say I'm no hack, but yeah. Ezra Gopa for $2. Kevin just gave us a Tuesday night sermon. Ray for $5 says, preach, Pastor Kevin, preach it. You're like that you're like that black preacher that came on the inauguration yesterday and electrified, and then all of a sudden they were like, and now this old priest who's gonna drone for 15 minutes. I never felt worse for a guy in my life. I was like, that's like The Rock just came out and cut a promo, and now we're getting like a Chris Benoit promo. Like the worst thing you can imagine. Richard Salea for $2 says, all hail Kevin's rant. John Williams for $199 says, Triple H over my dead body, jobber monster. I don't know what that was for, but Regina Sharp for $5. I think Triple H is setting up for an international territory system with WWE as the World Cup, I guess would be the idea, the cream of the crop. I think that would be fantastic. If you did like once a year, you had all the different NXTs compete against each other in an NXT World Cup. That would be incredible, like a big tournament. That's a tournament that would actually mean something, unlike other companies where they have 10 tournaments a year. And Tyler Golosinski for $1.99 says, dug myself out of the snow in Texas. Texas.
Wow. Was the snow hot?
Finally, Regina Sharp for $5 says, hey, you need a young priest and an old priest for a proper exorcism. Oh, it was a good one.
Your mother does jobs in hell.
Oh my goodness. All right. Wow, 270 guys in the chat right now. Thank you so much for that. That's fantastic. Awesome. Keep those super chats coming. We'll get to them after the next segment. All right, guys. Go ahead.
I'm sure Dis and I are the only ones who watched it, but are we going to talk about AEW at all?
Why? I mean, we typically do. We'll talk about the Britt Baker thing in a bit.
Well, I mean, like specifically the awful MJF promo with Double J.
Oh, jeez.
I heard it was terrible. I heard it was.
I'm sorry. If anybody's still
which one? They've done like 5 awful promos together. Haven't they?
This was particularly horrendous.
This one takes the cake.
To me, like, if you're still writing this, overpraised child jock, then there's something wrong with you. You have a mental deficiency. And then just the awful finish to Hobbs and Moxley, which is why no one will be watching the show this week, because I wanted to talk about the art of finishes, because it's something that kills AEW. They just don't know how to do good finishes.
Yep.
And did you see? And Dave, I think it was Dave or Brian, maybe posted something where they said, like, after the show though, Hobbs got up and he was selling the leg and he took them all out. And but the problem was that they didn't have enough time. They couldn't show it on there. Okay, first off, didn't they just get a max deal? Shouldn't they be able to show things like overruns and
if I watch it on Max, I should have seen all on Max at least.
Yeah.
So I don't buy what Brian was putting out there.
And they had an extra 10 minutes. They went 10 minutes over. If you can't time your show to fit that in when you already have a 10-minute overrun, you have far more problems than people not seeing that finish.
And there are things that you do when the match is over to make sure the crowd goes home happy. That's why I just don't buy it. That was the finish. And for the people still in the audience, once the cameras went dead, they got something to send them into the next set of terrible tapings happy.
Right. And how that match finished was like, why did the ref just go and ring the bell? I made a joke about it in the ratings video. Like, he didn't do the whole arm lift. He didn't do anything to say, like, all right, this guy's out. That's why when the finish happened, the whole crowd went, what? It fell flat. Sad.
It really was a perfect opportunity for them to dig themselves out of this Death Rider storyline, this dying, awful Death Rider story that nobody cares about. With Hobbs, somebody who people actually care about and was getting pops and was getting support.
Hold it right there, Dis. He wasn't getting that great of a pop in the 2 weeks that they highlighted him.
Compared to the rest of the roster, he was he was John Cena out there. Okay,
compared to Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. Compared to Action Andretti. Okay, this dude.
Yeah, I guess you're right at that point.
Can you guys hear me? Is my microphone coming in already? Because I'm getting
you were gone for a second. I thought you were just like, I don't watch this. So you were working on something. Right. But I didn't realize
I was letting you guys go, but I was the sound was coming in weird on my end. So just making sure that it wasn't didn't mean that my computer was fritzing out. All right. I have too many I love being able to read the news, but having too many WrestleZone tabs open on my computer is not a good thing, apparently. All right. So here's an interesting one. Let's see what happens here. Jordynne Grace has been spotted at the WWE Performance Center. This comes right after putting over Tessa Blanchard on TNA television. So Jordynne Grace was reportedly at the Performance Center just days after she wrapped up with TNA. Grace lost to Tessa Blanchard at TNA Genesis on January 19th, as previously reported by Fightful. Genesis weekend was Grace's last contracted date with TNA, as her contract was set to expire in January. After her match with Blanchard, Grace posted a thank you video that showed her seemingly saying goodbye to the TNA locker room. Mike Johnson reports that Jordynne Grace was at the Performance Center on January 21st. This comes after Dave Meltzer wrote that Grace said her goodbyes at TNA Genesis and she would be in WWE imminently in Monday's Daily Update. Grace has been linked to WWE for some time now. Again, this was not a Dave Meltzer. This was Dave Meltzer reading the writing that was already on the wall and putting it over as if he had insider information. Grace has been linked to WWE for some time now as the reigning TNA Knockouts champion. She competed in the Royal Rumble. It was very obvious that she was going to go to WWE, guys. Like,
I don't know.
Obvious, but
I don't know if everybody knows this. So they changed the scope of her contract months ago so that she would be wrapping up in January. But also, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, TNA as a whole, Anthem has changed the scope of everyone's contracts. Now they are all on pay-per-appearance deals.
Really?
No one is a fully contracted wrestler in TNA right now.
Huh.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Jinx.
I know that they've been we haven't really talked about the fact that there is an official partnership now between WWE and TNA. They are holding hands, skipping down.
We were going to talk about it, yeah.
Well, I mean, he kind of brought
And we're here.
Okay, Marv, yes. Intro the segment so I can.
No, go ahead. You already started us off. This is the ditch show.
I am the captain now. Play it, Marv.
The only reason I brought it up was because the talk of Grace at the PC. As much as I think that Grace is going
to be Yar har, brother! I be the captain of this here vessel now, brother.
As much as yes, it's obvious Jordynne Grace is going to the WWE, it is now also part of the TNA guys' deals that they have open access to the PC. Joe Hendry was talking about how he's been training with guys like Norman Smiley and Terry Taylor specifically. He said he's been doing a lot of work with Terry Taylor, and he's been learning hard cam stuff a lot in the PC. So TNA is apparently sending a lot of their talent to the PC. So yes, Jordynne Grace is definitely going, but it's going to help, I think, a lot with TNA talent that they have access to that now.
So
they just leveled up.
You mentioned Norman Smiley. So living in Orlando, an apartment that I had years ago, not where I live now. So don't think you could find me with this story. But so I was at my apartment and I was taking my garbage out. Kevin knows this story. I'm taking the garbage out and I see this guy putting his garbage in the dumpster. And I look at him and I'm like, no way. And then I look and I'm like, I said, excuse me, sir. I have a weird question if the answer here is no, but are you Norman Smiley? And he said, yes, I am. And I was neighbors with Norman Smiley, apparently. And I just said, it's very nice to meet you. And then I put my garbage in the thing and I went back home. But I saw him a couple times, each time at the dumpster. That man had a lot of trash he had to throw out. Sorry, Dis. I interrupted your show. I don't know if you had a flow going on. So, apologies, Captain. You have the con.
Okay, sweet. We're moving on. I can talk about whatever I want. You don't want to do this, Marv. You don't want to. It's a bad move.
Okay, so Ray has explained that he has one concern about this TNA WWE partnership. While speaking on a recent episode of Busted Open, Bully Ray mentioned that he is concerned about how WWE will do business with TNA in this partnership. He wonders if WWE will be involved in TNA Wrestling's creative process too much or just straight up take over their creative process completely. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're
why
care.
Would they?
It's a fair
I think if they're working an angle with NXT, WWE is obviously going to be in control of that. But I don't think they're going to care what like the Hardys are doing. He says, my concern, if I just look at this from the other side, is will WWE allow TNA to do business their way? Will they just say, listen, TNA, you run your creative the way you want to run it? Because one of my concerns, when we had this conversation a year ago, is that when we first saw the relationship was if WWE were to ever buy TNA or be involved with it too much, would their creative now just take over TNA's creative? Bully also mentioned that he wishes to see TNA Wrestling continue to do business on their own way, and WWE hopes that WWE allows them to do so. So yeah, that is a interesting question. What do you guys think?
So Bubba Ray Dudley wants WWE to be like a distribution company and be kind of pretty much hands off on everything else except for just spread our gospel. That makes no sense. That's not the idea of a partnership, my friend. And
I could see if there's people WWE is interested in, I could see them wanting them featured more on TNA TV.
Sure, absolutely.
I think from Bubba's perspective, because he was there for the Vince years, and now that we know Vince did have a say in some ECW stuff, but at the same time, Paul was able to do whatever it is he wanted to do with it, right? So, yeah, I think it's a valid concern where if TNA has a natural ebb and flow to its content, and I'm sure there's. Yeah, you just what's working right now for TNA is working, and he's going, well, the partnership is great, but what happens if he's worried about just to be just exerting its power in places that you kind of don't want them to, or being a little too free to do it, because part of this should be that as TNA is learning, they should be able to apply the information that they've gotten on their own so that they can master the concepts. And if WD starts hand-holding, the growth potential for TNA is going to be stifled. And that's from production to talent. So I can understand it in that sense. It's a fair question that I'm sure a professional in the room should have asked. At least once.
Probably.
And Bully Ray's job to say shit on radio. You know what I mean? He's spurring discussion. I don't know if he really believes that. And I do remember listening to it, and it did sound like a setup for Tommy to me, because Tommy came in and right after was like, well, we haven't gotten any of that so far. So it almost seemed like it was Tommy trying to let people know we still are in charge. We can still make, we still have the final say. But you mentioned the Hardys. I actually think WWE would have more say over the Hardys, because I can see WWE using this partnership to get the Hardys in the Hall of Fame and maybe get a match out of them.
Don't get a match out of them. Just get him in the Hall of Fame. Just get him in the Hall of Fame. Don't get a match out of them.
No, but it's no
match.
They would draw.
You've got to get at least one more match out of them.
Yeah, they would draw.
You know what's going to be against too? So, it's going to be against the New Day. I'm calling it now.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that you know what? That would be perfect synergy, considering it was the New Day that brought them back in.
I see it now. WrestleMania. There you go.
Well, Jeff Hardy did recently open up about when he left WWE in 2021. So based on his answer, I guess we could see how much he's trying to kiss up to get back in the door. No, I have not read this yet. I wanted to read it for the first time on the air. Former WWE champion infamously walked out of the WWE in December 2021. He left through the crowd during a house show match while being confronted by officials backstage. Despite taking and passing a drug test, he was told to go to rehab. He refused and left the WWE, joining up with AEW once his 90-day notice period had expired. Did it take 90 days, or was he in AEW like immediately?
It's like 2 weeks later.
I thought he was...
No, it was 90
I'm pretty
days.
sure he was there like right away. Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, go ahead.
Jeff spoke about this time during an interview on Insight with Chris Van Vliet. He asked what makes TNA the right place for him, to which Jeff discussed the end of his WWE run. What?
Sorry, bro. We'll say that again. Chris Van who?
Is it? It's not Chris Van Vliet? What? How do you pronounce the name?
I think it's Chris Van Vliet.
I thought it was Valet.
I know, Marv. It's just funny when you say it. That's all.
Yes, I don't care in the least. That is Jeff Hardy.
Chris is one of the
Metzler. Jeff Hardy on leaving WWE in 2021. I'm not sure. It was so weird. When I left WWE in 2021, my dad had been real sick. 2017, right after we went back to WWE at Mania, that was probably around the time that he felt good for the last time before he slipped back into this dark depression. But yeah, I'd been taking care of him, and it was just bad where he did not want to be here. He was ready to go. Our mom died at a young age. Man, so much for this being like a funny thing that we can make fun of Jeff Hardy about. I was 10 when she passed away, so I've always told myself when he needs me, I'm going to take care of him. I just did everything I could to get him excited. So definitely when my drinking got carried away during those times that I've never really talked about, the year 2021 is when I missed WrestleMania because my dad had just passed April 6th. My wife's birthday is when oh my God. I'm trying to take us out of the hole.
Okay. Here, I can make it funny. So Jeff Hardy saying that
please don't.
Please don't. Was the problem? Drinking was the issue? Are we sure? Was he drinking paint? Was he drinking paint thinner? Was that the problem?
He was drinking liquefy. He turned the cocaine into liquid and then drank it. It's sad the way it worked out, but I refused to go to rehab, so I ended up waiting my 90 days out and showing up in AEW, and naturally screwed that up as well. I feel so bad about Matt's position because now being in TNA, I feel like I can really kind of pay back for that to the fullest. Okay, so Jeff's not, Jeff is blaming it all on his sick dad, which is sad. It's sad that his dad was sick, and I thought we were going to have an opportunity to laugh at the Hardys, which I like to do, and we couldn't do that. Maybe I should.
You're a monster.
They never claimed to be otherwise.
I appreciate it. It seems like they've really turned things around.
It's okay. It's okay. Just I was doing a punchline there. I understand. I'm sorry.
By the way, Marv sent a message before the show saying, "Hey guys, I'm really out of it today. You guys are going to really have to pick up this every time I try to do something."
I said pick up the energy for me, but I'm like trying to. I still want to talk occasionally.
I came in here. I was like, "Oh no, it's cool. You're good."
Hey, you are the king of give a man an inch.
What?
I just love that thing so much. All right. Hey, you want to actually pick the numbers for the Rumble pool now?
Do you have?
Then we'll get back in the news. Yeah, I got a number. I have a random number generator right here in front of me.
Sounds okay. We can do that. While you're setting that up, we are, in addition to this, I'm going to run a listener Rumble pool. And if anybody wants, it's free, doesn't cost any money. I'm going to have a $20 Visa gift card to give out as the prize. So if anybody wants to join that, head on over to our Discord, toonydis.lol. John will also drop the link in the chat. Or hit me up on Twitter at AEW Disciplinary, and we'll give you a spot on there. And
to be clear, you do not have to pay for the Discord.
Correct. It's all everything's free. I've been sitting on a $20 gift card for a while. I'm ready to give it away. So I thought this was a good opportunity.
Give it away.
That's a great idea. So what we are doing, the four of us in Neckbeard. We are each putting in $10 per Rumble, and then each taking 6 entries in each Rumble, and the winner gets $50. The winner of each Rumble gets $50, so $100 in total on the line. Now we are going to choose numbers at random. Who should? What order do we want to go in here?
Clockwise.
You go first. Yeah,
clockwise. You want me to go first? You want Kev to go first?
I don't
Kev can go first. All right. Kev doesn't want to go
first.
I don't care enough, so I'm not going to be fun.
Kev,
you will be. You will be because you are going to get really competitive in this, and you're going to get competitive.
Are we doing the same numbers for both Rumbles, so we only have to draw once?
No.
Okay.
All right, let me get my pen out.
Do you think we should? Do you think we should? Is that because
I think it's cool to do that.
No, because then whoever gets like 26 is gonna like have an advantage in both Rumbles. That's not fair.
True.
What?
It's gonna go fast.
Okay.
It's gonna go fast. Dis, will you write them down in the Google Doc that I have?
I am on it.
All right, next to each number, just write the name of whoever's got it. All right, so we're going with Kev first. So 6 numbers for Kev. The first number is number 6.
Okay. Got it.
27. That's a good poll.
Is that Kev?
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
Got it.
Flair Country.
25. Ah, damn it.
25. Wow.
Yeah. 20.
What do you have? The best friend random number generator? Like, what's going on here?
This is really good for Kev. He's got them spread out.
Yeah, I picked the best ones for myself. Number 7. That's all of Kev's. All right, Dis. All right, Dis. You ready?
That's
now.
me.
If we get any duplicates, we just skip over them.
Yeah.
All right. Dis draws 4.
4. That's okay. I'll take it.
No, it's not. 1.
I know. That's a good one. That's a good one. One's a good one. Always good.
22.
Another good one. I like that.
13.
Nah.
Bingo.
4.
Oh, never mind.
24.
Ooh. It's a Hulk Hogan number right there.
And 19.
Kobe.
Okay.
All right. Now we got awful.
Yeah, I got the scraps.
Yep.
This is for the men's rumble. Awful
Gotcha.
draws 30.
Oh, big one.
I smell Brock Lesnar's music.
12.
Okay.
21.
Man.
It's reading like my report card.
14.
Awful got shafted in this one, yeah.
Yeah, certainly did.
4. We already
3.
drew 4, right?
Okay.
Yep, we already do 4.
We did 22 already?
We did 22. Yes, I have 22.
All right. We did 19 already. It's just giving me doubles now.
Yep, I did 19.
18.
Okay, that's awful.
For the Rumble.
And 12.
And 12. Awful already has 12.
2 weeks.
Okay, then awful draws 29.
Ooh. Awful has 29 and 30. I just want to point that out.
Awesome.
All right, now there should be 6 numbers left, Dis, which should be mine. So do you want to read them off?
There's actually 12 numbers left because we didn't do beard.
Oh, all right, let's draw for beard. I'll take whatever's left over.
It's not
Beard
the first
draws
time you
10.
said that.
Yeah.
10 for beard.
14.
14 is nope.
We have that. We don't have that one.
We have that one already. Yeah, that's what I mean. We can't do that.
Okay. 7.
Okay. Nope. Actually, Kev has 7.
21.
21. Nope. I have 21. Or Awful has 21. Sorry.
27.
Yep. We can do. Nope. Kevin has 27.
16.
Yes, we can do that.
10.
10. You know. He already has 10.
All right. 13. No, you have 13.
Nope. I have 13.
21, we've already done.
This, what numbers don't you see on your list?
Just let him go. We have 3, 5, 8, 9.
25.
Nope. You can't do 25.
Jeez. All right. Hold on. I'm looking to see here. I'm just looking at the thing now. I'm going to wait until we have 11.
Okay. Beard has 11.
And 17.
And Beard has 17. I think that's it. Isn't it?
How many is that for Beard now? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? That's only 4. He needs 2 more.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
9.
Okay. Man, Beard. Sorry, Beard.
And 3.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. 3's not bad. He got the Flair number.
All
That'll
right.
work. And then
That
Marv
means
got the rest.
It means I get 5, 8, 15, 23, 26, and 28.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Women's Rumble, we're going to go counterclockwise. So we'll start with me and then do Beard and then Awful and then so on and so forth.
All right.
All right. My first number, 16.
16, Marv.
4.
Ooh.
7.
Okay.
2. Jeez. If anyone thinks I'm fixing this. 12.
Oh, it's that. I think 12 might be the worst number, actually.
And 13. I'm not winning the women's number.
Marv just drew
Good
2,
Lord.
4, 7, 12, 13, and 16.
That's terrible.
Was boring.
All right,
numbers.
Beard. All right, Beard. Beard is going 20.
Okay.
28.
All right. Oh man, Beard's cleaning up.
Did I got 3, right?
Oh
no, Beard has 3. No, Beard has 3. 14.
14. This is for the women's rumble, by the way, for people who might be
Yeah.
wondering why we're drawing again. This is for the women's rumble.
26.
Okay.
How many is that for Beard now? Is that all of
For
them?
you mean? Oh, for Beard. Oops.
Beard.
Beard. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my
What
bad.
did you do?
No, I just.
How many of these did you label?
Just for the last
Okay.
one. Just for the last
He
one.
wrote letters.
All right. So it's, Beard has 1, 2, 3. Beard has 4, so he needs 2 more. 27. He's got 26, 27, and 28.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And 21.
Okay.
All right. Awful. 17.
Right.
5.
Okay.
8.
So now that's the worst number in the Royal Rumble.
3.
Second worst.
3 is the Flair number, man. That's not that bad. Flair and Ray both won from 3.
Listen, my friend.
I can't believe this. 30.
There you go.
I got 30. Lovely. Watch they give that to like Nikki Bella.
1.
Oh,
no.
wow.
And that'll be
Almost
Brie
got
Bella.
sandwich.
I'm cooked.
Yeah. All right, Dis. Ready?
Yep.
Dis gets okay, doubles 22.
Okay. I'll take it.
24.
Okay.
6.
All right.
Hold on. Trying to find it's 18.
Ooh, my birthday. Got it.
How many is that? 4?
Yeah.
20
20
and 29.
and 29. Okay, and the rest are
Which means Apollo gets 25.
Yep.
23. 19, 15, 9, and 10. Oh, wait, there's one. I think there's one left.
well, who has one
I think
less and we'll do it. I'll take it, whatever it is.
All right. Kev gets 9 and 10, and number 11 is the wild card.
All right, Michelle McCool.
There.
All right, and that's it. The Rumble pool is set. We are going to be at each other's throats. This is when we're live streaming. So for each entrant in the Rumble, we will also announce which one of us is up.
Yes.
And
I will announce who of our listeners is up too. We can do that. We'll have both.
Yes.
I
swear to God, if I get Matt Hardy, I swear to God, I will be in this. No, because in my friend's Rumble pool. Could you imagine?
I got Alberto Del Rio 5 years in a row when I did it.
All right. So, here's an interesting story. The Undertaker reveals the original plans that he had at the Raw Netflix debut. So while speaking on the latest episode of the 6 Feet Under podcast, The Undertaker mentioned that he was initially set out to do an interview, but the plans changed. He also shared that when the idea was pitched, he thought it would be like stepping on Ripley's moment, but the way it was executed, it felt more like giving her the OG rub. Originally, I was going to do an entrance and an interview, which would have been fine. They had somebody that was going to interview me, and they just thought that it would make that would make that the whole thing even bigger for her. The Undertaker said. When they told me at first, I was like, I don't think so, dude. That's her moment. I don't want to take away. I don't want to step on any part of that. I mean, this is the payoff to a very long storyline. I said, I sure don't want to come out and step on her moment. They basically explained she's going to have a moment in the ring. She's going to have this moment where you two will cross paths. I was like, okay, well, now if it's like that, it's pretty cool. Not that our characters are similar, but they are a little bit. It was just me dabbing her up there a little bit. Like a good job and giving her that OG rub. So there you go. That should put to bed all of the stuff about like, oh, it was supposed to be Becky Lynch and they threw her out at the last second and all that nonsense that was going around.
Who the hell said that?
Oh, that was the talk of Twitter.
Yeah, I remember as the show was going on, it was as the show was happening, it was very funny because I saw a post that was it said, I can't believe they let Undertaker take Rhea's moment. And that was like right before they got up to the end where she did the fist in the air. And like 30 seconds later, they deleted the post.
Jeez. All right. So, you want to talk about United Japan Pro Wrestling?
I think it's interesting.
Hell yeah. What's going on over there?
Yeah, Dis, why don't you walk us through that a little bit since it's your show and because you know more about this stuff than other people do.
Fuck you.
I love it.
I mean, I would say language, but you know, who am I to correct you on your show?
Right. Yeah, I don't care if we get demonetized. Demonetize. Let's talk about Kevin. Never mind. We're gonna. No, the thing about New Japan, all of the Japanese countries have now come together, which I thought was interesting, mainly because where does that leave? You know, the fact that Noah and All Japan have been working with WWE and New Japan has been working with AEW.
Very interesting.
Who's gonna be the charge of this thing? I mean, it's kind of like an NWA for Japan, you know. So it's
you want me to give you
time.
the member companies? All Japan, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, DDT Pro Wrestling,
Jesus,
Dragon Gate, Gambare Pro Wrestling, Kyushu Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Noah, Stardom, and Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Yeah.
Now at the press conference, they also outlined the requirements, which are an organization to be regularly running active promotion in Japan, to be a legally recognized company, to have at least one contracted wrestler working for them, to have an annual revenue of at least 50 million yen, to have been established for at least 2 years, to have a corporate compliance system in place for wrestlers and staff, and to share a vision of betterment for the pro wrestling space at large, even in competition with the other members. So
I think it was Awful who said something to the extent of, this is Japanese wrestling's last ditch effort.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. This is the final straw. In fact, Neckbeards made a great little post about it, talking about how, like, when I think Beard. See, I didn't step on, but he was talking about how, like, there were USA Wrestling, and a few other promotions in the Midwest, I believe, came together and tried to do this last ditch attempt effort of trying to organize like a super group. Obviously, it failed, but yeah, this is what Japan is going to. Yes, thank you. And yeah, this is what's happening in Japan. I didn't know that the Japanese wrestling scene had fallen off so hard. I'm shocked.
That's what
apparently
Tooney
it did,
does.
but
yeah.
Well, yeah, I think where New Japan goes, that's kind of where the Japanese, wrestling industry goes. And Tony Khan has been dragging NJPW down, into the depths.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's going to be interesting though if Tony is going to work with, because I'm assuming they're all going to still work independently. It's not like they're like, but now my question is, will they have a traveling world's champion, a traveling Japanese champion?
It would make sense.
And how quickly will Tony Khan advocate for that to be Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay?
Well, listen,
Go
at
ahead,
this point, I would say at this point, I think Tony Khan needs to be praying that the wind doesn't shift the other way, because the WWE is coming like a freight train, and they're tired of losing money and tired of probably dealing with the silly money mark. It's time to get serious, and AEW isn't where you go to get serious.
It's a case of disorganized money with Tony Khan versus organized money with the juggernaut that's known as TKO.
I'd be really
put your
curious.
horse on.
Right. They never talk about attendance from Japan, but I'd be really interested to see where like Noah and All Japan are now that they're working with WWE. What those shows that AJ Styles worked or Omos worked or those guys actually drew, because New Japan hasn't been drawing like they used to. There's a strong possibility that one of those two companies could be drawing better right now. We just don't know it because the only Japanese wrestling information really good is from Dave Meltzer. And what's he going to say? Right? Like, you think he's going to go out there and say that the companies working with WWE are doing better than New Japan right now? Like, we don't know that. So
everything's fine. Do the math.
Do the math.
They all want to work with Tony. That's why they're doing it.
This is one step away from AEW and one step closer to WWE. By the end of the year, is my prediction.
I really hope New Japan stops working with them and just decides to pick themselves up out of the dirt, because I mean, the fact that that they lost a commentator out of this, or at least for a suspension because Tony Khan got butthurt about comments, like it's insane. And by the way, we pretty much got confirmation that that's what happened.
Is that actually true? That he was suspended and not just he doesn't go on the road?
I have no idea.
Yes,
I have no idea. I've heard multiple things from multiple people. Okay, Des, you saying yes?
If you go by the actual reports, were that he was suspended for 2 months. New Japan did not put out a press release, I don't believe, which I think is what Marie was talking about last week.
Yeah.
I read if you want to go by like what Mole's saying, it has a lot to do with who he's friends with, the announcer, and him and Tony never really liked each other. Someone who we were supposed to do an interview with tomorrow, and is currently in a lawsuit with the company. So that might have something to do with it. And he posted this on Twitter, by the way, so I'm not saying anything that isn't out there. And it is just kind of a thing where Tony was trying to find a reason to take something out on him, and may have gotten it with the whole Gabe Kidd stuff. So that might have been I'd be very interested to see what the relationship between Tony and New Japan is right now, how solid that is, because this doesn't feel like people running to New Japan. This feels like New Japan reaching out to everyone else for help. That's what it feels like to me.
Which, by the way, we do need to make a kind of I completely forgot to make this announcement in the beginning of the show. So because people are asking now in the chat. So John's giving a link to Kevin Kelly's podcast. Yes, we were supposed to have an interview with Kevin Kelly tomorrow. Unfortunately, last night I got a message from Kevin Kelly saying that he cannot make it. His lawyers have advised him to not do interviews right now, as he is in an active lawsuit against AEW. So once the legal situation clears up, I'm hopeful that we will be doing that interview. But unfortunately, tomorrow we will not be able to do it. So it sucks, but clearly AEW got spooked by the interview and shut it down. So clearly,
allegedly. Yeah.
Clearly, allegedly.
Yeah.
Clearly, allegedly.
Definitively, allegedly.
What had happened?
Yeah. Do you think anybody's listening now, by the way?
Probably.
I mean, there's 250 people in the chat. Some of them might be AEW lawyers.
You just make sure you document it anytime they make fun of me watching Time Cop.
God, I had a video. It still cracks me up. I wanted to play it, but I understand the sentiment. But God bless it, it was hilarious.
It is confirmation that they pay attention to us. So hi, whoever's listening from AEW.
Yeah, really.
It's Tony sitting there seething.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Tony seething, you know what? Let's do some super chats and then we'll get into Tony seething. Andre Adams of 499 says, "What are your thoughts on the Soy Boys going after Jada Parker?"
Ooh.
Well, fire away, guys.
Ooh. Kev, you start.
I said my piece. I don't know if I can say my piece here, but I said my piece.
She's the one that got the boobies, right? That's the whole thing. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
I don't know who Jada Parker is. So.
Miss Parker.
Yeah.
Jada Parker's a female wrestler on NXT. She's the badass that took over all of Sasha Banks' swag and turned it up to 12.
Oh, she's the one that liked the thing about the gender ideology, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I thought you were talking about
okay, yes. My take on this is what somebody's political beliefs are outside of the television show where they fight to entertain you is none of your damn business. So shut up, move on, and stop trying to cancel people. It doesn't work anymore.
Yes. As a Division I athlete, she is uniquely qualified to have her opinion.
Have an opinion on the sports situation, and it's a moot point now because they can't. The sports thing is open and shut as of yesterday. So, yeah, I'm so over the. Look, I don't care what your political beliefs are. I really don't care, and I wish the rest of the world didn't care because I'm so over people trying to cancel people because of who they voted for or what their opinion is on certain issues. Shut up. All right, these people don't owe you anything. Watch the show. Don't watch the show, but don't try to get them fought. If you don't like it, if you don't like what this person says, don't watch them wrestle.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with politics anyway. It's personal lived experience because she's a female athlete. So what? Who cares? You know, that's like being mad at me because I don't like Domino's pizza. You know, it's like she lived the experience. So who am I to tell her?
I am mad at you about that.
Domino's sucks, dude. The pizza sucks.
Domino's sucks.
You have avoided the Noid for the last time, Dis.
They should bring if they brought the Noid back, it'd be a different store.
Yeah.
Remember the Noid video?
Let's see.
Yeah, Noid.
remember they had a video game of this of the 7-Up dot.
Yeah, cool spot. Yep, and they had the McKids too. Also, there was a McDonald's game.
CWJ 128 for $2. Yeah, back when video games didn't cost $200 million to make, you could make little silly video games of every character known to man. CWJ 128 for $2 says AEW should fire every former WWE wrestler over the age of 40. Yeah, probably start with Jericho.
No,
disagree.
Wait. Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
You don't think they should fire them all?
No, some of them some of them are useful. Bobby Lashley, Edge to a degree. I mean, you kind of need him. I don't know, but see what that goofy
I'm sorry,
name,
Cope.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I take it all back. Right.
None of these guys have moved the needle in any way, shape, or form. If anything, the needle has gone down.
Right. I think there should be a hiring freeze on any more wrestlers from WWE. But
well, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like getting rid of all of them over 40, I can understand Jericho, but you can't get rid of all of them. Come on now.
Lashley's the only one that pushed that number up. Since Lashley's been there, the ratings are actually increasing. So I wouldn't touch Lashley personally, but
John Williams for $4.99 says Triple H goes, female China is finally mine. You can't keep her away from me, Sean. Well, right now she's Sean's. BT23 for $5 says, see that Revolution only doing around 7,300 seats in a crypto arena in LA from all elite marks. If any truth to it, what is AEW doing? WWE did crypto. What is this about crypto?
Crypto Arena.
The arena. It's the arena name.
You know, crypto, I'm always fascinated by crypto because I wish I could have been in the room when somebody thought it up, because somebody was like, hey, I got this idea. We can literally sell people nothing and it'll work.
No one knows who invented it either. It's a screen name. It's not a person. So
yep,
it's reselling electricity.
It was some screen name that was like, hey, I can literally sell you nothing.
We don't need to get into this libertarian argument right now, but really, is it any different than money? Really, you're given a piece of paper
really,
and told it's worth X amount. You know, I mean, you know, it's all kind of
Marv over here.
That's right. Government can't get their dirty hands in it, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but it's the most fragile. It's the most fragile industry ever. It crashes constantly. Like, who knew this one? I knew we were done as the human race when I saw virtual real estate. I had to write about this once. Literally, people are buying property in the metaverse for like millions of dollars. A fake plot of land. This one guy paid, I think he paid like $4 million for a fake plot of land to put a fake digital house on to go into virtual reality because it was right next to Snoop Dogg's fake plot of land.
That was my favorite thing to do about 10 years ago, was to go online and read crazy stories about Second Life, where people were buying up land. Corporations were buying up land in Second Life. Well, I'm sure they're really happy with that investment now.
That's the point. That's the point where people were just like, oh my gosh, we can literally sell people nothing. A thing that just does not exist. And they will pay millions of dollars for it. Humanity is doomed. Anyway, Forever Runner for $1.99 says the disciplinary welcome to the disciplinary committee starring Dis along with Mark Kevin Awful.
Yeah.
Scully Vibes for $2 says salute Tooney Talk Wrestling. Hit that like button. # we believed. I appreciate your belief. I believe in you too. JPS for $2 says only AEW would misuse the Hardys. What a joke. Well, when they brought the Hardys in, the money match was very obviously the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not do it. It's the only money match the Bucks have ever been involved in. Like the only like thing
I think they did a 6-man tag with them.
Yeah, I was like, you could actually draw money with the Bucks if they do something with this, and then they just didn't do it. Or they eventually did it, but it was way too late.
Yeah, they did like a 6-man. They did a 4-team match, and they did the Anarchy in the Arena, I believe. The Hardys and the Bucks were involved in, but it took a long time to get to the. And I think when they did it too, wasn't it just a blowaway match on like Dynamite or something like that? Like they didn't even really get what they could have out of it. I don't think.
Yeah,
I might be wrong.
That. Regina Sharp said, "Speak for yourself. I can laugh at Jeff all day and night."
You
Regina
bastard.
Sharp coming. Regina Sharp coming back in with Glum Gold, Glum Gold, Glum Gold, Glum Gold. But with his hands up, 'tis a rarer vintage. Wolfchild for $4.99 says, been thinking about this from the start. If Marv is JD and Kev is Turk, is Awful the Todd and is this Ted? Or are they Turner and Hooch? Well, I would say Awful is the janitor because he's like, you know, twisted and like, you know, just like, you know, you never know what he's thinking. And you know, like, I don't know. I could see him being the janitor. And I don't know. I don't know. Who would you be?
I don't know. There's no cartoon monkey on the show, so I don't really know where I fit. Yeah.
He's the extra.
Yeah, I'm no one on that show. I'm not cool enough to. You know what I am? I'm the guy who kept coming back and trying to get painkillers from the nurses all the time.
Yeah. You know, you're clearly you're Bob Kelso because you're the chief of medicine around here.
There you go.
John Williams for $4.99, and you're evil. Says it fell apart because of TK Tony Khan, wrestling savior, and he's the bomb. That's correct. Yep. Hold on, I'll play it. Yeah, I'll play a little bit.
Tony Khan. Wrestling savior, and he's the bomb. Yeah, he's TK.
Yeah, he is.
He's giving wrestlers hugs, and he might be on drugs. Yeah, he's TK.
Can we put that while watching
Mike
the
Will
Mario
made
movie?
it.
Marv,
Where did that? Yeah, where did that backbeat come from, Marv? Was that the?
Oh, that's the DK
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
It's
I was about
DK Donkey
Yeah.
Kong.
Right. Okay.
I was about to ask
I knew it
Marv,
sounded
did you cry
familiar.
like the rest of Did you cry like the rest of the internet when Nintendo revealed the new Donkey Kong? They're not using the rare Donkey Kong anymore.
What do you mean with the in Mario Kart?
They redesigned him. Yeah, in like all across Nintendo. They've redesigned him back to like fat, lazy Donkey Kong. He's not like cool, muscly Donkey Kong anymore.
Right after they open up a theme park based around Rareware Donkey Kong.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you don't remember here and performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you want to clap as we take you through the DK rap. DK Donkey Kong. Yeah, I love the DK. Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite games of all time. I looked up the lyrics. I don't have them memorized. Dr. 64 for $5 says there's a chance Tony knows about Tooney. Oh no, there's a definite chance he definitely knows about Tooney, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
there's no way he doesn't. Regina Sharp for $10 says actually Tony makes us all tell people where his time cops. John Williams for $4.99 says why wouldn't Tooney listen to the show? You're his best friend. I'm his only friend. I'm both his best and worst friend. Travis Heckle for $5. Hey, Travis Heckle, we got to get him back on the show. Maybe Travis, if you want to come on the show next week, let me know. He says, I love a good Kevin Apollo rant against a beta soy boy. Hail alpha males. Plenty and Pixel Art for $10 says Evil Dis also hates Domino's. Evil. Andre Adams also says Dis snitched on the Noid.
Did you guys?
John Williams for $4.99.
Go ahead.
John Williams for $4.99 says Kev, crypto went down dramatically because the U.S. government said they wanted to moderate it. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. No, because if it's the government's got to get its hands in it. Don't make me start breaking out a lunchbox to show you how taxes work. It's my Ron Swanson moment. And BT23 for $5 says was talking about what was AEW doing, only doing 7,300 seats at Crypto Arena in LA for Revolution. Didn't they do more for Revolution last year? Of course they did. They do less every year for every event. I don't think they've had a single event where they've done more than the year before. I'm probably wrong on that, but it's not popping up.
No,
in my
you're
memory.
right.
You are right. I actually was bored.
I have friends that
looking for this information, and you are correct.
I have friends that go to the Prudential Center in Newark whenever AEW goes there, and just every year fewer. The first year they ran the Prudential Center, they sold it out, like 10,000 people in that arena, and then just less and less and less and less. That's called killing the building, folks.
Yeah, man. I was just looking at some pictures of AEW crowds back in the day, and boy, oh boy, like they were truly rocking and rolling back then. Seriously,
compare a current crowd to Genesis over the weekend, right? Genesis looked fantastic.
Yep.
And I mean, it's sad what it's come to, honestly.
I'm happy with it.
I'm thinking about the TK rap right now, and I'm just thinking. I'm remembering. It was my second time seeing the Mario movie. I saw it in 4DX, where the seats move and stuff like that. Which the Mario Kart scene was really cool during that. But I'm Donkey Kong comes out to fight Mario, and they're playing the DK rap, and it's going DK Donkey Kong, and in my head I just went TK Tony Khan, and then I was like, well, we're off to the races now. That's always how it happens. I get one little line in my head, and then it's right away.
Does it come through the nose first?
Yeah, of course. Good one, Awful. All right, let's talk a bit about let's talk about our title story. Dr. Britt Baker, reportedly done. Wrestle Purist says Tony Khan is reportedly no longer booking Britt Baker for AEW TV as frustration with her has grown behind the scenes. A recent incident was said to be the final straw with sort. What?
I was just doing the danger music. Bam, bam, bam.
Are you done doing the danger music? Am I allowed to read more?
Yeah, dude, keep reading. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Every time you guys mute me, that's going to be what I play.
I love this show.
A recent incident was said to be the final straw, with sources describing her as increasingly difficult to work with. Quote, I don't know who we're quoting here, but
right.
She might be done with AEW. At least the feeling I'm getting from talking to people is in AEW is Tony Khan.
Oh, I know who it is
might
now.
have her in the same category. Yeah. Might have her in the same category as some other wrestlers where they just don't get phone calls and they don't get called to show up. There's a lot of frustration with her. Again, it's this Tony Khan ridiculousness, right? Where he just, like, instead of firing you, he just won't call you anymore and continue to pay you. I'm told, and I've heard this pretty consistently, she's wildly unpopular in the women's locker room. One person said no one ever wants to see her come back. Speaking of the women's locker room, now that is a bold and broad statement. I could imagine somebody on social media going, I'm a women's wrestler in AEW, and I want it. This is from Wade Keller from PW Torch.
Okay.
I'm a women's wrestler in AEW, and I want her back. Okay, fair enough. But I'm just telling you, somebody's perception is nobody wants her back. That's how bad it is. Somebody is willing to tell me that. There was the incident with her and MJF, and I'm told that factors into her being off television. Okay, so that was real. Because a lot of people were saying that incident never happened. So I guess this was real. But there are other issues with her that have come up. Who remembers the particulars of that? Because it feels like it was 10 billion years ago.
That was. What was it? She said something about the girlfriend. Oh, no, what did he go over? He went over on time or something and it messed up her segment. So she was complaining to the girlfriend. And then the girlfriend went to Max, and then Max came to her and allegedly punched a wall. And you can't remember it because it's high school idiocy. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, and again, you can't remember it because something new and ridiculous happened the next week.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. So there was this incident with her and MJF, and I'm told that factors into her being off television, but there were other issues that have come up. She has become increasingly difficult to work with in a general sense. She's always had a reputation for being difficult to work with. There was speculation situation recently, not counting the MJF situation, where people just threw their hands up. It wasn't like a huge deal, but it was enough for to sort of be the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of just feeling that, you know what, we got a strong women's division now compared to when she was on top. Okay, I'll say it's better than when she was on top, but you don't have a strong women's division. And we don't need to deal with her if she's going to be this difficult to work with. So that's where they are with her. I'm told that the Adam Cole situation is not stopping her. There should be no heat on Adam Cole. He has nothing to do with her not being on TV. Obviously, she had some standout moments in AEW and became a star and was seen as a centerpiece act. She was not a star. But even back then, I was hearing about her reputation of being unpopular in certain circles and difficult to work with and being fiercely territorial of her role in the company in a way that just felt unsustainable. And from what I'm hearing, at least, the attitude right now at the moment and belief is that Tony Khan is fed up enough that he's just going to focus his TV time on others. I don't know what that means in terms of her pay and her contract, and it's possible eventually that things will change. At this point in asking around, you should not expect to see her back imminently. This came from Wade Keller of the Pro Wrestling Torch. Guys, have we seen the end of The Dentist?
No.
Britt Baker, END.
I'm telling you right now, so. WWE, everyone's like, oh, she's going to go to WWE. First of all, from what I understand, she's got like 16 months left on her contract, and we all know Tony's not going to fire her or let her out.
But they already told her to begin with. That's why she's there.
Oh yeah,
they already told her
no interest. I don't. Yeah.
The only thing I could see is the I could see Hunter doing to Tony what Vince did to him. I can take your toys and make them stars like you can. just like Vince, every time an NXT wrestler was super over. He go, whatever. I'm gonna take him now and make him better. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I could see because she's mid at best. Better than Sasha.
Yeah. She's better than Sasha. And to be fair, she is friends with Cody and Punk, and that might get her a little in with WWE.
Yeah, ask QT Marshall how friends with Cody works as experience on your resume.
Hey, he's working with WWE. He's working with WWE one way or another. So he's the head trainer of the Nightmare Factory.
But also, listen, there's a difference between being a jobber who grifted your way into a job and being someone who performed at a moderately high level on a national TV show. I'll be fair to her that way. You say QT Marshall before the Nightmare Factory, people go, who? It's a little different.
When I personally think we'll see her back in AEW. I think it's being a little probably blown out of proportion. Wade Keller tends to kind of blow things up sometimes. So I could see her being back. If she is gone though, if she gets let out of her contract or whatever, I'd go to TNA. I think that's the way. I think that's the only route. They're the best. There's nobody better at rehabilitating an image than TNA. Right? They've done it with countless people. And I think that would be the best place for her to go.
It comes down. Listen, the problem here is the problem that ravages all of AEW. I've said this before. They don't have a talent problem. They have enough serviceable people that the product should be a lot better. They have a management problem. There is a lack of leadership. There is a lack of direction. There is a lack of coherent vision. Her attitude is out of control. You mean to tell me that you're the boss? You sign the checks. If you can't get her under control, then she just doesn't work there. But instead, you get this passive aggressive BS where I'm just not going to call you. It's stupid. You're not leading anybody. If the ego needed to be corrected, the ego should have been corrected years ago. And for better or for worse, because we've seen this story a ton of times, right? Well, Austin, Shawn, Hogan, Savage, Alpha's in a lead position, Alpha's in a lead position, very protective of their roles in their position, almost to the point of paranoia. We know that's a very backbiting, very cliquey place right now. It's rife with dysfunction. So you're telling me that she's behaving this way, and I'm going to get no crap. I get it. I understand it. Also too, because Tony has a bad habit of discarding people for shiny new toys, and that's exactly what he did with her. You could have damn well been like, hey, he's clearly crushing on her, and he's sad that her frail boyfriend's there because he can't crush on her. But Mercedes showed up, and it's like Britt got Thanos snapped. The same thing, if you get hurt, you can't even get a proper return to TV. Thunder Rosa, what's her name? Oh God, well she used to be good, and now she's just kind of there. Oh, why can't I think of her name? Jamie Hayter.
Oh, Jamie Hayter.
Oh, Jamie Hayter, yeah.
So it's like once you stop being the shiny new toy, you're just there. You're just kind of there. So I not excusing it, but I understand it. And if it is bad as it is, it's his fault. It's all his fault.
How much longer do we have to sit and watch this circular type of transaction and all this nonsense going on with these people? How much longer do we have to sit here and wait before somebody finally gets a clue and there's an actual pattern of like, maybe you shouldn't go to AEW because he does this? Why? Because we've got 5 years of history showing that this guy completely ignores you. Does that word ever get out to the wrestlers?
Dude, I think there's always.
It's okay. Go ahead. No.
There's always going to be people that WWE won't hire, and they need money. And as long as there is, and as long as Tony's willing to give that money, they're going to keep taking it. And I don't blame them. If WWE's not going to hire you, if you're at the end of your career or you just don't have it, but you can you can weasel your way in with Tony Khan, you take that money, man. I don't blame him at all.
In my opinion, if you're a young kid who's going to AEW, you clearly don't take the wrestling business seriously, and you're
just about to say that, yeah.
And you're trying to cash. Outside of that, if you're going to AEW in hopes of that, you're going to build some equity and get some exposure. You are dreadfully wrong, or you somehow miraculously have the ability to breathe on your own. You shouldn't be able to. It's you're window licking dumb kid. So you get what you deserve.
AEW is the most expensive casting couch in the history of professional wrestling, because all it is at this point is a casting couch for WWE. Guys go there for now. If I was signing with AEW, what I would do is I would sign a short-term contract. I'd take every moment that I have on TV to prove myself and get myself over. I wouldn't care a word about what Tony Khan said, and I just hope that somebody in WWE is watching, because that's really all they're good for. If you're a young wrestler,
you said casting couch, though. Isn't casting couch like a euphemism for like
I mean,
abuse? Like
sometimes. It's not always. It's also
I was like, where's he going with this? But
it's also a place where people go to get cast in things. But yes, it has developed that reputation.
Kill a stranger.
Oh God. All right, I'm trying to see what we got. A couple more super chats to get to, but then I want to touch on some Meltzer stuff, and then let's see. Where did we leave off? Regina Sharp for $5 says, "I love this bar." I guess it's like we are having a conversation at a bar. I guess
we're a great hangout.
Implication? That's
what
we're doing. We're just hanging out.
Bars,
the DK
right?
Rap. Yeah.
Dropping bars.
Richard Slayer for $5 says, I predict TNA will take over as a second option over AEW soon. TNA makes some sense on TV. AEW is an absolute ket pink cocaine nightmare of stupidity. I could, if they start featuring TNA on WWE TV, absolutely. TNA is going to start being the fourth brand in essence, and people will start paying more attention to it. I think
I could see TNA getting a spot on CW, and with how NXT is performing, I could see them wanting more. And TNA, the rumor was that TNA was looking for a new TV deal. I could absolutely see WWE introducing.
I would hope TNA is looking for a new TV deal because their TV deal stinks. John Williams for $9.99 says, before Punk, we were getting stories where there'd be fights backstage. Common factor involved would either be Britt or Sammy, yet neither were ever punished. Only the other person was. Well, they didn't get punished until Hurricane Monet blew into town, and all of a sudden they found a reason to suspend Sammy for forever, and now I guess Britt Baker is snapped into the Phantom Zone. And it's literally like Tony sends him to the Phantom Zone.
Oh, wait.
My favorite story that I made up in my mind about that time period was when Andrade slapped Sammy's Guevara, because all I picture
I won't fire you if you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just picture Andrade walking into Tony Khan's office asking for his release. He says no, and then he goes and grabs Sammy by the hair, brings him into Tony Khan's office, and just slaps him in the face. Says, "Okay, now fire me." Because it was right.
He told him before, I won't fire you if you do it. As in, like, don't do it. If you're doing it just to make me fire you, it won't happen. Like, oh, cool. All right. Well, slap the crap out of him. Send me home,
what if I shoot him in his kneecaps? Would I be fired then?
Omega Studios for $5 Australian says, Kev talking about the alpha male mindset is exactly why I respect guys like Undertaker who use their position to push young guys like Lesnar, Orton, Edge, Batista, etc. The Undertaker is the ultimate alpha male in wrestling because he is an alpha male who took no crap, who ran the locker room, but had a respect for wrestling and always did what was right for wrestling and showed unwavering loyalty. And I think one of the greatest things that you can give as a man is loyalty, whether it's to your friends, to your family, to your wife, to your children, to your employer, loyalty is the true mark of a man, I think. And the Undertaker is a true man, and never has there been a truer man in wrestling. I think, honestly, he's the best. Never heard anything about drama with him. Never heard about him refusing to put anyone over. The only time he ever got anyone fired was the guy that lit him on fire in his entrance, where he was like, "I don't play this card a lot," but I was like, "Vince, that guy better not be here. I'll kill him."
And the guy had to mess up twice. The guy had to mess up twice in order for him to do that.
This is the man who literally got up on the steel steps to do the thing where he gently raises the lights, and Kane's pyro accidentally went off in his face, and he didn't flinch. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember that SummerSlam in Canada when they were like, the crowd was like chanting stupid stuff all night and doing the wave, and they started doing it in his match, and he like stared at them, and they stopped.
Can I? So the SummerSlam '98. If you go back, you may notice it. So he comes out and he does his entrance. He's standing in the middle of the ring, and someone in the front row yells something. And he rips his head around. And I'm pretty sure he goes, "MF, would you say?" And that entire section of the arena stops talking.
It's so funny because Undertaker's the only person in the world who went viral for doing a basic hot tag spot on a house show. All he did was the same thing that Kofi Kingston has done for 25 years now in the corner of but Undertaker does it, and it's everywhere on the internet and on 1,000 YouTube videos.
Listen, we watched this man stare down a shark.
Don't cheat in dominoes, though. Man. If you cheat in dominoes, you'll get kicked out of the locker room.
Don't do it. It's a man's game. Forever Runner for $1.99 also says, Jamie said she likes CM Punk, so TK made her vanish.
She does like CM Punk.
All right. Well, I mean, I like CM Punk. I like CM Punk now. I did not used to like CM Punk. And that was in his WWE run and his AEW run. Did not like him when he came back to WWE. And he grew on me within a few months because he was just like, it was very clear that this was a different guy. He's doing this for all of us. Remember that? Tell that story. Tell that story.
So Marv would visit.
Yeah, we're in a mall.
Yeah, Marv would visit my old office quite often. And I walked outside to have a phone call. And there is this she had to be like, she was too old to be having this conversation. So she had to be like 20, 22. And whoever she talked to, she's screaming on the phone, "Don't you understand? He's doing this for us. He's doing this for all of us. CM Punk had to leave."
Oh my god.
It was right after he left and then did like the Talking Dead appearance as Phil Brooks, like after he walked out.
Right.
Yeah, he's doing it for, let me tell you something, guys. I don't care how much you like CM Punk right now. He was not doing this for you when he left.
You know what? I'll be fair for a second. Me and Max went back and watched the Summer of Punk on YouTube. He asked about it, so I was like, well, let's show it to you. And I will say, every single thing that he said is what Triple H did to make the company better. I will give him that credit. I was with you, though. At the time, I was done with CM Punk. I wouldn't have gone. I kind of like we were talking about Graves last week. Just like seemed like he, wasn't appreciative of his spot, that kind of thing. But he is right when he says that every single thing that he said is something, except for the ice cream bars. Besides the ice cream bars, Triple H has done everything that CM Punk said was wrong with or has fixed everything that CM Punk said was wrong with the company. So.
Vince brought the ice cream bars back for a little bit.
Vince did, yeah. That's why I didn't give credit to Triple H for.
What made it rough though was he was just complaining about everything. I mean, especially if you watched his DVD set. It was 3 discs and complaining. So you're getting this hit with poor little rich guy syndrome. And it's like, I don't pity you, bro. You have millions of dollars. You're doing okay. You're not any number of guys trapped on the mid card who have a lot of talent but will never see the light of day. You are they had always treated you like a main eventer. When you find a couple of random weird losses here and there, but they always treated you like a big deal. So why are you constantly complaining? It was exhausting. And then to hear the story of him turning down the match with Hunter in Connecticut, going, I do not want to wrestle you.
You know what's funny though? When we were watching the Summer Punk thing, when it took that right turn and Kevin Nash showed up, even Max, an 11-year-old, was just like, "What? Why is that? Why did the NWO guy come out?" That was a really, really hard left turn.
And then to get Nash's side of the story, I showed up and Hunter was like, "No, I'm doing this. I'll take care of it." How dare you? I'm gonna put you in your place. That's what I'm gonna do. Who are you talking to? He's in the room with us. Did you see him? No, pal. It's just us. Punk is here. He's right. He's laughing at you.
Oh my gosh, the Ultimate Warrior in the mirror.
You need to have a seat now.
I'm joking.
Everywhere Hunter won, there was CM Punk screaming or pointing at him.
I have always said, if someone came up to me with a time machine and was like, I can take you to any time and play, if the Doctor, and I'm talking about like 12 and lower, like showed up and was like, I'll take you anywhere in time and space. I said, I want you to take me to Triple H's house during CM Punk's UFC fight. And I want to sit next to him on the couch, and I want to watch that fight with him for the first time, and I want to watch what Triple H does when CM Punk gets the tar kicked out of him in the UFC for the first time.
After Kev's thing, all I'm picturing now is Triple H is Don Knotts, and CM Punk is a giant fish just walking around.
Why are there so many ostriches? There's too many ostriches. Oh, goodness. Omega Studios for 20 big ones. Australian. Thank you so much. Says Undertaker has always been the GOAT in my opinion. Longevity, legendary feuds and matches, promo work was great, especially American Badass, and the most respected man in the business. No one in the industry has a legacy like the Undertaker. I am 100% with you on this. I hate that I did not appreciate the American Badass when we had him, because the entire time he was the American Badass, all I wanted was the Undertaker back. Like all I wanted was the dead man. And but like I 100% didn't understand like how much the Undertaker enjoyed being the American Badass, like to the point where he was doing a leapfrog. So but Omega Studios, thank you. That's a very generous super chat, and for your previous one as well, you got a clip played for that.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind. Everybody hands go up, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Kevin added that one. I don't know why. I know it's in one of your rants, which I have to go through.
Oh, the Army Hammer one, but why not? It's just fun to say.
You serious?
I was shocked that wasn't in there.
Yeah, I know. I think it's because everybody uses it, but I like it. I'm glad it's there now. It's one of those things where I saw it there and I was like, I'll keep that.
Can we use the one from
John
Hot
Williams.
Fuzz?
John Williams says for $9.99, the only time Taker refused to help someone is DDP. Taker hated him when DDP handed him a script of ideas for their match. DDP was like Savage who plans ahead. I mean, look, it's the Undertaker has never just like hated someone for no reason. You have to piss him off, and you have to do so repeatedly. But I mean, oh man, that DDP match is rough though. When he comes out taping his fist.
Yeah,
it was the ultimate example of you've done it now, you've gone and made a big mistake. God, this
Undertaker, that period was the one time where Undertaker did not have patience. He was not suffering fools during the WCW invasion. After the Chronic incident and then the Canyon stuff, by the time DDP showed up, I'm sure Undertaker was just done with every person except for Booker T, whoever was in WCW.
Well, DDP showed up before they did, but yes, I agree with you on this.
DDP wasn't before Chronic, was he?
Yes,
he was.
I'm pretty sure he was.
My bad.
DDP was one of the first. He was one of the first WCW guys to show up because he got that massive monster pop when he showed up, and then they just did nothing with him.
Right. I know he was post Canyon because Canyon was part of him coming in. He was like introduced with Canyon, but okay, yeah.
They don't know who you are, pal. What do you mean? The entire arena pops you. Yeah, they don't know you. All right.
They were just being polite.
You know,
they had to do that.
Undertaker might have already had his mind made up because he had been working with DDP for years before that whole thing happened too. When DDP was just a manager. Yeah, when DDP was a manager over in,
Yeah, he's the one who snuck DDP into the his WrestleMania entrance.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
I just
but having him.
Sorry.
Can I just share one of my favorite Undertaker things? Because I had to do research into WWE working with Universal Studios for that Park Place because we reported on the Wyatt Six house, which I got confirmation is happening at Horror Nights from an inside source close to Universal. And oh man, I found out that it wasn't. I realized, and I had blocked this memory. It wasn't the first time they had done a haunted house based on WWE at Halloween Horror Nights. There was an Undertaker house.
Yeah, Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched a video about it.
Yeah, well, you're about to do it again. How far is this week get?
What an honor for the Undertaker. Universal.
Hey, Kevin Kelly's voice.
Studio Hollywood presenting WWF superstar with a special Igor Award, honoring the Undertaker's achievements in horror.
What are the odds he still has this?
0.
What are the odds he had it by the end of this night?
0%.
Is like Tony Stark handing the thing off to somebody, the valet on the way out of the thing in the first Iron Man.
After 10 years of being in the World Wrestling Federation and being the Undertaker, I'm quite proud of this. It lets me know that people outside of our
look, he's still got the Sarah tattoo.
Business kind of appreciate what it is the Undertaker has brought.
The ceremony is just a part of the theme park's Halloween Horror Nights, in which the Undertaker has his very own attraction. It's called The Undertaker No Mercy, and the Undertaker was there for the grand opening.
Okay, so Halloween Horror Nights has gotten a lot better in recent since this happened. Just want to let everybody know because this house is trash. It's hot garbage. Like it's so bad. They had a pallbearer in there. I love that.
We are Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights, and we're checking out the new Undertaker No Mercy maze. It's a time capsule of fright and fear that lets you know why it is that I'm such a dark Smash? Dark character.
This is actually a replica of the house where I grew up as a child.
Oh God, you gotta play that.
Look at Sarah's face. Oh, she's not having it.
He's really working.
This is actually a replica of the house where I grew up as a child. How are you doing? So I don't remember this guy being here, but this guy I do remember. You know,
this guy I do remember.
Did a great job. They really captured the essence of my childhood and the development.
Man, he's sticking to this gimmick.
Yes,
they're really capturing they're capturing the essence of when I murdered my parents and lit my brother on fire as a child, which I talk about very casually now and admit freely, despite there being no statute of limitation on such things.
From the Old West Undertaker to the Gothic Undertaker to the demonic Undertaker to the American.
Wait, I'm sorry. That's supposed to be the Undertaker?
Random Puerto Rican.
What is it? It looks like Jimmy King.
Let's get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Ready to rumble.
Bodega.
Oh no, you know what he looks like? He looks like the gay Sting in TNA. Remember that when they had what was his name?
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
Gay Sting.
Yeah.
They really did a great job.
Come back to the underworld, brothers, where you belong. You need to come back.
This brings back a lot of memories of a time in my period when my soul was at its darkest.
He needs to come back.
You know, it just kind of reminded me.
Did you just scare my wife?
No
Did you
comment.
scare my wife?
All I could say about her is
he definitely upgraded with Michelle McTaker.
Say less.
It's kind of cool to see it. Most of the history of the Undertaker is with those characters. This being, the evolution. So it's kind of cool to run back and see what brought me to where I am right now. It all comes back to me as one room brings us into another. So are the stages of the Undertaker. Something else that kind of struck me was the Hell in the Cell.
Did you see Mankind up there?
Yep.
That's actually pretty cool.
Is Texas Red going to make an appearance?
It was awesome. This captures Hell in the Cell of me and Mankind. The history of the Undertaker and why we are where we're at today.
Oh my goodness, I love it. That's really cool. I saw something. So there was a thing on X recently where somebody was like, it was like a rumor that part of their partnership with Netflix is Netflix was going to produce a TV movie about the Undertaker and Kane, like that whole backstory and child. And I'm like, please do it, because man, I would love that.
Did you read that?
If they
book,
made a
right?
Brothers of Destruction movie. Oh, of course I read it. In Kane into Darkness, I 100% read that. If I still had it, I would read it every year. No,
we should read it on the air.
No,
if there was a movie for Zack Snyder, it is the saga that is Kane and Undertaker.
Oh god, that fire would be in such slow motion.
Oh yes.
Lens flares everywhere.
Oh god, no, that's J.J. Abrams.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's the other Gorg.
Was it Kane into Darkness or was it the book?
Into Darkness sounds
Journey.
So long.
It was called Journey into Darkness: The Unauthorized History of Kane.
But it was authorized. Why is it unauthorized? WWE put it
because you're supposed to feel like you're reading something you're not supposed to see.
Right. Off limits.
You want to hear? Wait, hold on. Here's the prologue. Freak, Denton said. Glenn hit him in the face. Hey, Denton looked surprised. Glenn punched him in the stomach. Ow, Denton said, and he bent over double. Glenn knocked him back down to the ground and twisted the boy's arm behind his back. He reached into Denton's coat pocket and took back the $1 Denton had stolen from him this morning, his lunch money. Glenn took the rest of the money in Denton's coat too, just for good measure. About $4 in change and a couple of crumped up bills, about a week's worth of lunch money. And since Denton had been taking Glenn's lunch money for most of the last month, he figured he was still a little short on the deal. Hey, Denton shouted again. Give that back. Shut up, whiner. Glenn said. He turned around and glared at the rest of Denton's gang, the sixth graders who hung out with Denton Young, who did his every wish. Now, when I picture this, by the way, I actually picture a bunch of sixth graders and a fully grown Kane dressed like a sixth grader.
Hey, Marv, there appears to be a promo where Kane talks about the book on YouTube. If you wanted to do something with it at some point.
I don't think I could do anything straight from a WWE TV show, or we'll get shut down. But who did his every wish because Denton's dad was some kind of big shot in the Mafia City the Marfa City Council. There's no such thing as the Mafia, guys. Balled his hands into fist, took a step forward. Anybody else want to fight? The other boys, 3 of them, whose names he couldn't really remember at the moment, not surprisingly considering that he was dreaming, shook their heads and backed away from him. Glenn snarled.
Wait, they used his real name. I forgot about that. They called him Glenn Jacobs. I totally forgot that he used his real name. How dumb is that?
Yep. Oh, wait, hold on. They ran. He smirked, watching them go. Not so tough now, were they? Not so ready to make fun of him because of his freaky disease, because his parents wouldn't let him play sports, because his eyes were 2 different colors, or because he was a second grader. They were chicken. They were chicken shit cowards, just like Mark had said. A hand fell on his shoulder. A big hand. Glenn turned, and there was Mark smiling down at him. Nice, Glenn's brother said, smacking his own fist into his other hand. Show those chicken shit cowards a thing or two. Yeah. Let him know not to mess with a Calloway, even one in the second grade.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Of course, Mark wasn't in second grade. Mark was in 5th grade. Everyone at Marfa Elementary was scared of Mark. For real scared, not just because he was so big, bigger than everyone else in the school, but because he had no fear, not of anyone. Not of anything. A couple weeks back, right before lunch, 2 kids from the 6th grade had cornered him on the playground, gotten him down on the ground, started pounding on him. Glenn heard what was happening, ran out of the school just in time to see Mark lying there on his back, not moving. I think we all know what's about to happen. The 2 6th graders just standing there laughing. Glenn thought for a second that maybe his brother was dead or something. Then Mark sat up all of a sudden. And then, like he wasn't hurt at all, got to his feet and started after the 6th graders. They did it again, beat him down to the ground, and again he got up. And this time the 6th graders weren't laughing. And this time Mark got a few shots of his own. I can't believe I thought this was good when I read it.
Oh my god! You thought this was the greatest thing ever, and I
did. I was just so entertained by it. Oh,
Marv, don't. Go ahead.
It's so bad. No, it was just really, really bad.
Okay, surprise. Look at the screen and read that comment.
Mike Meltzer, this prologue is 4.5 stars. Would be 5 stars if it was a manga.
Congratulations, Mark Middleton.
Yeah, well done. Andre Adams for $4.99 said best Undertaker story is how the Godfather almost made him break. I never heard that story. Does anybody know it?
I think the Godfather.
It was when he was offering him hose. It was when he was offering him hose. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. We go back to Dates promo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I know you love hose. That's I think that's the line that almost broke him.
Okay, Mike Middleton just made me laugh again. And when Glenn isn't around, all the characters should be saying, "Where's Glenn?" Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Monkey Balls for $5 as my wife's special brownie just kicked in. Why is Kane fan fiction being read? It's not fan fiction. It was a published book.
Wait till the Democrats find out about this book for Glenn Jacobs when he's running for re-election. They'll be like, did you hear about his childhood?
We have it right here. We tortured and murdered people.
With a gentleman named Mark Calloway.
Who is this Mark Calloway?
They explained Katie Vick in there. It's like Katie Vick is part
Oh
of
yeah.
the
The whole point of it was they were like, take everything that we have ever said about Kane and the Undertaker and make it work. They worked Snitsky into the story. They worked Snitsky in.
Could you imagine having that job, being that author, and they're just like throw down the whole Kane and Undertaker story Bible in front of you and say, do something?
Well, it's like, so is he chained up in Paul Bearer's basement his whole life, or is he taking Katie Vick out to the prom or whatever? And oh my God. And then when you get to the point where where like Paul Bearer's like training him, he takes him down to Mexico, which is where the mask comes from, and he trains him in Mexico, and the guy that he beats up in Mexico is Snitsky.
Yeah. People make fun of these like dime store authors, right? Like, who do this stuff on Amazon, but like I guarantee this author is more talented than 90% of the fact that he made it work. He put this stuff together and somehow crafted a story out of it. I respect that a lot. I kind of want to find out who wrote it.
Too. Regina Sharp for $5 said, so this was Kane year one.
Yes.
I guess so.
Tremendous.
It's, I mean, guys, if I have, so here's okay, I'm gonna make you guys a promise. If I can get my hands on a copy of this book, because it's obviously not in print anymore, it's not an ebook or anything like that, I will record an audio book and put it on Patreon.
Oh my gosh.
All right, eBay, here we go.
Okay, yep. I'll find it. I'll have it by tomorrow.
Hold on, let's look at Amazon real quick. Kane Journey into Darkness. Oh, $17.99.
Yep, that's right.
All right, I guess this is happening.
Can we see the cover of the book? If you can,
you've never seen the cover? Oh,
never seen it.
Yeah, hold on, I'll find it real quick. Images. The cover is amazing. Image in new tab.
Hey, Marv.
LibriVox Tooney Town recording.
The PDF is available to download on archive.com.
Oh, is it really?
Yep. It's on the Internet Archive.
Oh, fantastic.
God bless the Internet Archive.
I'll get it to you.
And that this is the cover awful.
Hey, not bad. That's not bad.
A novel by Michael Chiappetta. Wonder what he's up to now. Wonder if he was Gary like a WWE writer.
It was Gary Michael.
See, you think
that's what
Capetta?
Name. Yeah, it was a joke. I was making it.
Why doesn't it say Gary then?
It's his pin name, Mar. We don't use your real name when you write like that.
Yeah, Mr. Martirano.
That's actually my last name. I'm nuts.
Wait, really?
I don't know. Is it? The world may never know.
I do know that you announce minor league hockey games. That's all I know about you.
Oh, I have heard. Yes, I was exposed for that. Right? Just terrible. I like to leave breadcrumbs to nowhere.
Same.
Oh God, I really hope there's not somebody with that name that's going to start getting inundated now. I do like I do like hockey, but I was not a minor league hockey.
Somewhere there's a guy named Dave Metzler who's getting hounded right now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's a math teacher. He's getting told to do the math. I do it all day. Alone.
Speaking of which, by the way, it's time for a little segment we like to call That's Dave for you. Today we have a video that's Dave for you today, shared by our friend Triple H's Thoughts, who was a guest on this show at one point. I'd love to have him back again. He was a great guest. And here's Dave Meltzer.
Jesus.
Interesting too is couple people from AEW tweeted.
I can't stand looking at his stupid face because it really looks like it was carved out of stone and like
Is
not
Abdullah the
carved
butcher
well.
forehead?
Yeah, like why do you have gig marks? Like you've never.
We're so happy for you.
Hitting his head against the wall.
I don't know. I'm sure they are. They are his friends. They should be happy for him. I'm happy for him. I don't know that it's good business if you are with a rival company to tweet how happy you are that somebody who left got a big reaction. I could say with almost certainty.
He's talking about the AEW people that were on social media congratulating Penta for his WWE debut. He's communicating that Tony is not happy with this. Basically, he's communicating this for Tony.
Good business if you are with a rival company to tweet how happy you are that somebody who left got a big reaction. I could say with almost certainty that if a bunch of guys from WWE tweeted how happy they were for Ricochet, it would not be done well at all.
They wouldn't do that.
They would not.
Oh, really, Brian? Because I seem to remember Naomi and Bailey going to an AEW show, posting it on social media when Mercedes Moné debuted.
Why are we pretending like we don't have 12
That was a great
years,
free shot.
12 years of this happening freely across all companies, all levels of performer for all former WWE employees, whether it was people congratulating Cardona, people congratulating Miz on a wedding, or people showing up at other people's weddings when they were in other companies. Like, what are you doing? What is this? Just be honest. This insecure little muppet cannot fathom actual joy happening someplace that he did not provide because he himself is joyless. If he spent less time being a ballless little bag of goo and being a leader, he wouldn't have these problems. This is so stupid. And then this big nosed idiot with stupid drunk nose playing Gunga Din for this moron. Grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks like skinny Artie Lang, and suddenly he sounds like Wilford Brimley for some reason. What is up with the voice, man? He sound either he's drunk or he's 90 all of a sudden. There's a lot of this. We're talking like this now. This is my
you are an old man. Why are you pumping growth? You don't need to be jacked to write an article no one wants to read. Stop it.
He is,
but you got to look at my tongue, Kev.
Allegedly.
Look at my tongue.
Like, without a doubt, he's the worst writer that's ever lived. Like, he's so bad. He's so bad. And look, it is literally my job I am an editor, I am a writer. This is my job, my full-time job. And I have never, in all my years as an editor, encountered someone with such a loose grip on the English language. Someone who is just completely incapable of stringing words together in a way that makes sense as this professional writer.
What do you mean? If I wasn't doing newsletters, I'd be the next Jackie Collins.
Yeah, he'd be the biggest sports writer, biggest NFL writer on the planet. Stop it.
That's right.
Stop it.
There'd be no Bob Clappish or Stephen A. Smith. It'd be me, Dave.
NFL football with Chris Collinsworth and Dave Meltzer. Give me a break.
So somebody said to him also, WWE has a massive network deal, but is also doing record gates. That's the difference. Because he was saying that the network deal for AEW was, putting them on par. And he's like, take the last quarter total profits, 28.9 million. Then do the math. Then subtract all media rights, 227.4 million. And you get negative 198.5 million. So even with the record gates, they could not sustain their business without TV money because they don't do house shows anymore, you idiot. When they were doing house shows, it was a substantial part. The entire business model has changed. But the difference is they are selling out buildings.
Well, I think also a big difference is that WWE lost a TV deal, they'd get another TV deal.
Yes.
If AEW lost,
they just signed a 5. Yeah. They just signed a TV deal for $5 billion. And everyone's like, oh, they got kicked off Fox. They got kicked off Fox. Like, no, USA gave them more money than Fox did.
Yeah, they left Fox. Fox tried to keep them. They said
they got more money.
Yeah. Hey, they said, we'll give you a FSN if you stay. And they said no and left because they got more money.
And now they're trying to make a big deal. And now they're trying to make a big deal because they lost 25% of the first Netflix. Like, losing only 25% off of that big of a show is fantastic. Yeah. I thought they were going to go down to like 2.5, but the fact that they stayed at like 3.7 is amazing. I'm sure Netflix is dancing right now.
Yeah, people will always do better in a debut thing because lots of people turn in for the debut. It's a big star-studded event, and this really was. But you're going to see it's going to be the number one show on Netflix every Tuesday. Every Tuesday morning, you're going to see it as the number one show on Netflix. And that's going to be every single week, I think 52 weeks a year. And it should be. If it's not, then there's a problem. If it maybe like when Stranger Things comes out, it won't be that week or whatever. But anyway, guys, that's Dave for you. Okay, so here's the thing. Normally we do the Monet Mag, but we're not doing it this week. The Monet Mag this week was not very good.
No, it wasn't.
She didn't really have anything. Yeah, she didn't really have anything like toned. It was boring. Like, it was just super, super boring.
Get out of here.
No, like, usually I can mine comedy out of it, but it was just like the fan questions came back or the fan emails came back, and it's just more of the same crap. It's just people geeking out about it's just Japanese wrestling people geeking out about her Japan matches.
No keyword monster.
No, I scanned. Don't worry. Okay. I still think we did it. I think
we did it too. Yeah.
So, yeah. By the way, Andre Adams for 199 says Dave built like he forgot to die 20 years ago. Craig Churchill for $5 Canadian said, did you guys hear Brian Last read Uncle Dave's letter to Norm Keitzer from 1984? Dude's been unhinged the whole time. Yes. And the biggest thing that I took from that is that Dave said he could speak Japanese.
What?
Chat us up, Marv. What's this about? Give us some context.
Okay, so it's on Cornette's YouTube channel. It is From the Files, Dave Meltzer. There's 2 of them out there right now. The first one, so he's sending Norm Keitzer letters, trying to be able to write an article for him about some title or whatever, and he wants to write about Japanese wrestling, and he's hyping up his this newsletter that he's going to start up, the Wrestling Observer. But he's like, I know everything about Japan and I can speak Japanese. And I was like, I would love to hear you attempt to speak Japanese. Please.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
Ohio, Gozai.
Hadouken Kenrai and Bison Zangief. Capcom. Konami. Contra.
Konami.
Nani.
Sailor Moon. Sailor Mars. Sailor Venus.
Pokemon.
No, he's got to do it in order. Sailor Venus, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter.
Malachi, Zocyte, Nephlite, Beryl.
Jigglypuff.
Here we go. Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon. You're not. You're just saying Japanese things at me. It's not speaking Japanese.
These are English words.
Mercedes Monet is my waifu.
Get out of here, you filthy guy, kid.
Godzilla. You're not even
Gojira.
saying it right.
Gojira.
Godzuki. I can make little smoke rings too.
Like I saying, I need a Sailor Moon theme by Dave Meltzer. You ready? Fighting evil by moonlight. Winning all love by daylight.
Okay.
Never running from a real fight. She is the one, Sailor Moon.
Do I smell a duet coming at some point?
For what?
With Dave and Mercedes doing that song.
I'm so glad that you interrupted my bit to say that.
Because I want to hear it right now.
Marv, I know you're riffing, but I gotta interrupt to say something super important.
That's 3 times this. Strike 3, bro. You're out.
I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
No, it's okay. I actually need this. She said, Jew Ranger. It's just gotta have on it. Chala and chala. Oh wait, the biggest one for him to do. Muyase, Ikai Muyase. Karina Jushin Liger. By the way, the greatest Japanese theme of all time is the Jushin Liger theme.
Tremendous.
Oh my goodness. I used to know all the words of the Jushin Liger theme. Or at least a reasonable facsimile of what the Japanese words are. A lot of it was probably gibberish.
Hello, Moto. All right, I'm done. I got
everybody
nothing.
was kung fu fighting.
I'm just down the top ramen right now.
Oh, you know he goes into sushi restaurants and tries to order in Japanese.
Oh yeah. Sushimi.
Nagiri. Arigato.
Shasumi.
Now he goes C2 and E3.
Gohan to Mizo Kumasai. That means water and rice, please.
Oh, I'm writing that down. I'll need that.
I actually, because I'd like to go to Japan at some point. Like it's a bucket list thing for me, but I'm really uncomfortable going to any country where I don't know the language. So I want to have at least a working understanding of it. So I've started Duolingo like multiple times. I got pretty far with it one time, but if you don't use it, you lose it. Like I even like knew all the kanji and stuff. It was like, this is maybe like 4 years ago. But yeah.
Marv taught me the word kanji, by the way.
Just now?
Yeah. When I used to DM Marv, I used to be like, that writing they do. And he was like, kanji? I was like, yeah, that's it.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me see if any more super chats came in. But yes, the Dave Meltzer from the files is fantastic. Wolfchild for $4.99 says, so you guys planning to stream all in Australia at 2:30 a.m.? That whole event is cursed. Oh crap, we're gonna have to. Or at least
no, we don't. It's Grand Slam. It's a collision. We don't have to do it. It's a collision episode. It's Grand Slam.
We'll see.
We don't have to stream.
We'll see.
And it's gonna be
Let's do the show.
No, they're not doing it live. They're airing it 21 hours after the NBA All-Star Challenge. Like, no, we don't need. If they don't care about
maybe I'll do it with Alyssa or something.
Yeah, is she even going? Did she indicate that she's going at all?
I'm sure she's not going. I mean, I don't think anyone's going.
No, I think she might be. I don't know, but like I said, it's not live anyway. Like, there's no way for us to watch it live. We would have to watch it 21 hours.
Honestly,
later
I legitimately don't think it would be a safe environment for her. Like, because the AEW fans obviously know what she looks like and they don't like her. So, I mean, she would probably be harassed. So, But then again, how many AEW fans are actually in Australia?
Right. Yeah. They haven't been able to watch the show for 2 years. So
she's got home
well,
court.
and it would also be. Go ahead, Kev.
I said she's got a home court advantage. She's fine.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's going to be really easy for them to find her because it's only going to be like 5 people there. So she'll be like, a large percentage of the audience.
And she'll be the only woman.
John, yeah, she'll be the.
She beat them all.
John Williams for $4.99 says WWE only don't want you on camera for a rival show. Yeah, they didn't want Bailey popping up on camera, which I'm sure Tony would have turned the camera on her if he thought he could legally get away with it. But Regina Sharp also says, Monet Meltzer duet, God help us all, God help us all. My throat wouldn't survive that. Liger J81 for $2 says, Dave says, believe it when he orders ramen. I can't believe it. Kaioken.
Hadouken.
Gum pistol.
Lupin the Third, Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Seto Kaiba. God, there's a lot of us that you could put into Japanese names.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're done. My throat is gone. My voice is gone. All right, guys. All right. Awful. Where can folks find out more about you and everything you're up to?
I guess they can find me here every Tuesday. Tooney Talk Wrestling, and also on Twitter, AEWFUL Wrestling, where we have fun.
And on every other show, apparently, that exists in the world.
Yes. Shout out to every other show.
Yeah. Dis, where can folks find out more about you and what you're up to?
Oh, I'm sorry. May I speak? May I say something?
Yes, you may.
Okay. AEW Disciplinary. Remember, we're doing the
this. What you should do right now when you're doing your plug is you should do the plug, but you should.
Okay, I'm waiting.
I'm sorry. Continue your. Okay, continue your plug.
No. I appreciate input, unlike some.
I needed one more for the road.
So did I.
Go ahead, I'm done.
Join the Discord. By the way, I'm only plugging your shit, so I would shut up if I were. Go to the Discord. And join us there, where you can be a part of the Royal Rumble pool for the listeners. Also, if you follow me on Twitter at AEW Disciplinary, you can hit me up there and I will enter you too. You know what? Screw it. I am starting my own show. February 6th, me and Awful, we're doing a show. It'll be after Tooney Town TV. It's called This Is Awful, and we will have a link for you next week.
I'm so glad you went with that as your name. I've been saying it for months. You got to go with it's got to be called This Is Awful.
We're DNA Wrestling, and the show is This Is All. It's like how Tooney Town Wrestling is the channel, and Tooney Talk Wrestling is the show. So that's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it.
I've made it official. We can't go back on it. That's when it starts. I'll get some links and stuff up next week. But the most important thing is the Royal Rumble pool. Get in on that. Hit me up. $20 gift card for anyone who wins.
You guys got to do an AI opening with the Shiki man from TNA. This is all.
I bet I'll make the AI openings for Marv does. So yeah, that'll work.
Right. Bang bang.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, suddenly see Dave going around challenging the Japanese to a children's card game. You've activated my trap card.
Oh man, Erica just gave me a good idea. It should be called Outlaw Mud Show. We should just call it.
There's got to be one already. That's got to already be taken.
With 23 subscribers.
It's a good name if someone can grab it.
It is. The hardest thing about naming a channel or naming a podcast is basically every good name is already taken.
Yeah.
So, all right, Kevin Apollo, where can folks find out more about you and everything you're up to?
I don't know. I'll be floating around. I'm here in places. I don't know. Come see me.
Tooney Town TV, though, we've got member content coming out with Kevin Apollo, a bunch of rants that are going to be coming out in the next week. They're done. And we're now waiting on me to actually put them up. And of course, Kev will be live on Thursday night.
Yes, I may crank another one out for you. I think something came across my radar that I may have had something to say about. Other than that, though, I'm floating here. If you want to see me, be belligerent on Twitter, although I'll be calming down sometime next week. I just want to take my victory lap.
All right. And guys, for me, of course, check out Tooney Town TV, our other channel. A couple people have been telling me they found that they've been unsubscribed over the last couple days. So make sure you are still subscribed and check us out on Thursday night at 8 p.m. for Tooney Talk TV. You'll see myself and Kevin, Trish, and the whole gang over there, all your cartoon pals. We'll all be broadcasting over there on Thursday night, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about this week. Captain America just continues to be, cursed, and so much more that we have to talk about. So, and there'll be Bo DeMayo news this week. So, that's always our favorite thing. So, from all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, and by the way, thank you to AEW Neckbeards, our producer of this show, the wise man of this show. We appreciate him. He is the absolute man, and we love him so much here on this show.
Shout out Neckbeards.
So, shout out Neckbeards. For all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here! Now, Betty the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator!
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you! Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you! I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah!
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what?
Hi-ho, from all of us here at Tooney Town, thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.